Chapter 74. 1. As soon as he entered the bronze door, Ningyu felt a surge of dense origin energy surging towards him. The origin energy was so dense that it was comparable to some blessed abodes. If I cultivate here, I believe it won't take long for me to break through to the Xiantian realm. Ningyu's face was burning with desire. Although the speed at which the spirit transformation technique absorbed essence qi was very fast and could completely absorb the essence qi in a high-grade essence crystal in a few hours, the quality of the essence qi in the high-grade essence crystal was a level lower than the essence qi here. The quality of the origin energy in the hall was comparable to the origin energy in top-grade origin crystals. What are you standing there for? Give me a key, I'll go to the left hall first. At this moment the Dark Emperor shouted, As for you, wait here. Once I call for you, enter the left hall immediately to help. Hearing this, Ningyu recovered from his shock and looked over. There were 2 miniature bronze doors on his left and right, and there was a keyhole on each of them. Swoosh! With a flick of his wrist, Ningyu tossed a golden key to the Dark Emperor. After catching the key, the Dark Emperor inserted it into the keyhole and opened the bronze door on the left. Swish! After that, the Dark Emperor sped up and charged into the left hall. Seeing the Dark Emperor enter the left hall, Ningyu didn't stay on the spot. Instead, he flashed to the door of the right hall. Should I open it or not? Holding the golden key in his hand, Ningyu was slightly hesitant. The Dark Emperor didn't tell him what was in the right hall. If there was any danger, he would probably suffer with his current strength. However, Ningyu determined that there was definitely a powerful pill in the right hall. Or rather, there was some kind of artifact. Because he was standing in front of the bronze door of the right palace, he had a special sensitivity towards elixirs. He could feel an aura that moved his heart. This aura could only be emitted by a 7th-grade elixir. Let's go in. Gritting his teeth, Ningyu inserted the golden key into the keyhole. Creak! In the next moment, the bronze door slowly opened. As the bronze door opened bit by bit, the heat on Ningyu's face became more and more intense. In the end, he shot out like an arrow and rushed in before the bronze door completely opened. The space in the right hall was not big, and it was completely empty. However, Ningyu's unique sense of smell as an alchemist still managed to find some clues. It's a hidden compartment. His soul power penetrated 3 feet into the stone wall. Ningyu found 3 hidden compartments. The secret compartment left behind by the medicine sovereign must have pills inside. Or in other words, precious herbs. Suppressing the heat in his heart, Ningyu tried to calm himself down and took a few deep breaths. It was because he deduced that the arrangement of the hidden compartments in the stone wall was very particular. They were arranged in an extremely brilliant way. Even if an ordinary martial artist discovered the hidden compartment without the corresponding method, it would be impossible to remove it from the stone wall. Once the method of removing the hidden compartment was incorrect, the hidden compartment would explode on its own, destroying everything inside. Luckily, I know the method to remove the hidden compartment. Otherwise, I would only be able to stare at it. Trying hard to calm himself down, Ningyu used his soul power to carefully remove the hidden compartment. In his previous life, Ningyu was a peak 9th realm alchemist. He was fortunate enough to come across such a brilliant method. Otherwise, even if his soul power recovered to the peak 9th realm, he would not be able to remove the hidden compartment. Because Ningyu's soul power was only at the peak 3rd realm, even if he knew the method, it was still a little difficult. Not long after, he was sweating profusely. However, Ningyu did not dare to move. His soul power was highly concentrated. If he was not careful, all his efforts would be in vain. Bang! 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 After about an hour, following 3 muffled sounds, Ningyu finally relaxed. He let out a long breath and carefully removed the 3 hidden compartments. After calming down the excitement in his heart, Ningyu opened the first hidden compartment. It turned out to be cold crystal pills, crystal jade pills. As soon as the hidden compartment was opened, Ning Yu's face was full of shock. In the hidden compartment there were 5 or 6 pills neatly placed. These pills exuded a faint cold air. They were crystal clear and had a beautiful color. 4 cold crystal pills, 2 crystal jade pills. Ning Yu quickly took out the pills and put them in his storage bag. Taking a deep breath, Ning Yu slowly opened the second hidden compartment. In the second hidden compartment there were no pills. Instead, there was a dark green ring lying flat inside. Could it be a storage ring? Slightly frowning, Ning Yu did not try to check the rank of the ring. Instead, he opened the third hidden compartment. In the third hidden compartment, there was only a blank piece of paper without a word on it. A piece of paper written with soul power. Narrowing his eyes, Ning Yu was a little shocked. In order to read a piece of paper written with soul power, one had to use one's soul power and understand soul calligraphy. Up until now, Ning Yu was more and more impressed by the drug sovereign. The way he placed the hidden compartment was unique. Any piece of soul paper placed on the mainland would be the target of everyone's desire. Ning Yu knew a little bit about soul calligraphy. Thus, he no longer hesitated and sent his soul power into the paper. As he read the words on the paper, Ning Yu's eyes became more and more shocked. In the end, a hint of joy appeared on his face. The words on the paper were written by the drug sovereign. The drug sovereign hall was indeed a temporary abode that the drug sovereign had opened up. At that time, he was being chased by his enemies. Helpless, he could only use Pill Dragon Valley as a cover to open up a cave abode to avoid being chased by his enemies. The first hidden compartment contained the cold crystal pill, crystal jade pill. It was just an elixir that the drug sovereign had casually refined using the ice crystals left behind by the drug sovereign. The second hidden compartment contained a storage ring. The soul power imprint inside had already been removed by the drug sovereign. As long as one imprinted their soul power into the storage ring, they would be able to control the storage ring. Inside the storage ring were the herbs that the drug sovereign had found in the Magical Beast Mountain Range and Pill Dragon Valley. There were quite a lot of them, but their grades were low. Most of them were herbs needed to refine elixirs below grade 5. At the end of the paper, the drug sovereign mentioned the Dark Emperor. The Dark Emperor was from the Heaven-Devouring Hound clan. At that time, it was being chased by other Heaven-Devouring Hound. Coincidentally, the drug sovereign passed by and saved it. After saving the Dark Emperor, the drug sovereign temporarily sealed its body in the cave and sealed its cultivation in the left hall to prevent the Heaven-Devouring Hounds from discovering its aura. Boom! After reading the words on the paper, it burst into flames and turned into ashes. So the Dark Emperor is a Heaven-Devouring Hound. Ning Yu had always felt that the Dark Emperor had a special identity. He didn't expect it to be from the Heaven-Devouring Hound clan. No wonder it was like a normal dog after swallowing several high-grade essence crystals. Swoosh! Without thinking too much, Ning Yu extended his soul power and imprinted the soul power imprint on the storage ring. As soon as his soul power imprinted on the storage ring, Ning Yu saw what was inside the storage ring. The space is so big. Ning Yu's mouth was slightly agape, because the storage ring had a space of 1,000 cubic meters. Furthermore, there were a lot of medicinal herbs scattered around the storage ring. Green jade grass, dark night dew, snow silkworm, camel peak flower. Chapter 75. The Soul Enchanting Pill was a peak 4th grade pill. It could help a martial artist imprint their soul power into a flying sword. Once he refined the soul imprint pill, then Ning Yu could imprint his soul force into the soul-breaking sword and control this heaven-rank flying sword from there. After the joy, Ning Yu calmed down. The soul enchanting pill was a peak 4th grade pill, and his soul power was only at the peak of 3rd grade. Although he was experienced in his previous life, his soul power was only at the peak of 3rd grade. It was impossible for him to refine a peak 4th grade pill. Right, the icy crystal pill. Suddenly, Ningyu thought of something and took out the icy crystal pill from his storage bag. The icy crystal pill was a 5th grade pill. It could increase a martial artist's soul power to 5th grade for a short period of time. After calming down the excitement in his heart, Ningyu swallowed the cold crystal pill after his mental state returned to its peak. Buzz. As the icy crystal pill entered his mouth, a cool feeling swept through his body. Then, Ningyu found traces of pseudo-soul power emitted from the icy crystal pill and fused with his own soul power. Peak 3rd grade soul power. Early stage 4th grade. Middle stage 4th grade. Peak 4th grade. In a short period of time, Ningyu's soul power reached the peak of 4th grade. Then, with a crack, his soul power broke through the limit of 4th grade and reached 5th grade. 2 hours. I have 2 hours to refine the soul enchanting pill. Feeling the strength of his soul power, Ningyu's face lit up. The soul enchanting pill was only a peak 4th grade pill. Now that his soul power had reached 5th grade and he had enough herbs, refining the soul enchanting pill was not a difficult task. Ningyu did not waste any time. He sat cross-legged and took out the herbs needed to refine the soul enchanting pill from his storage ring. He burned his soul power into flames and began refining the soul enchanting pill. Because his cultivation had reached the peak of the Hotian realm and his soul power had increased to 5th grade, Ningyu's speed in refining the soul enchanting pill was very fast. After an hour, he succeeded. Top grade soul enchanting pill. Looking at the black pill in his hand, Ningyu opened his mouth wide and swallowed it. After the soul enchanting pill entered his stomach, it turned into a transparent light shield that wrapped around a trace of Ningyu's soul force. Ningyu's mind flickered, and the wrapped soul power swept out from his body and flew towards the soul-breaking sword. Kacha! Kacha! With the help of the soul enchanting pill, Ningyu's soul force smoothly entered the soul-breaking sword, took root and engraved itself inside. Hoo! A moment later, Ningyu let out a long sigh of relief as he felt the mysterious connection between him and the absolute soul sword. Whoosh! With the soul-breaking sword in hand, Ningyu performed the first move of the Supreme 9 Purities sword art and waved it in the right hall. Bang bang bang! The stone walls of the right hall were bombarded by the absolute soul sword's sword gleams, making banging sounds and even shaking a little. As expected of a heaven-grade flying sword. It's so powerful! Putting away the soul-breaking sword, Ningyu nodded in satisfaction. When the first move of the Supreme 9 Purities sword art was executed with the soul-breaking sword, its power was close to the peak of the Xiantian realm. In other words, if Ningyu encountered the barbarian corpse king again, he would be able to contend with it. There was no need for him to keep running. Now that my cultivation has advanced to the peak of the Hotian realm, I can already practice the second move of the Supreme 9 Purities sword art, the innate malevolent sword wave. When he was in the late stage of the Hotian realm, Ningyu practiced the first move of the Supreme 9 Purities sword art, which was also the most basic move. Now that his cultivation had reached the peak of the Hotian realm, his soul force had also increased to the 5th grade with the help of the cold crystal pill. Moreover, he still had an hour. It just so happened that Ningyu could use this hour to practice the second move of the Supreme 9 Purities sword art. If he succeeded, he would not be afraid of a peak of the Xiantian realm martial artist. Taking a deep breath, Ningyu's soul force surged. He controlled the soul-breaking sword and began practicing the innate malevolent sword wave. An hour later, Ningyu's brows were tightly furrowed because he had only touched the surface of the innate malevolent sword wave and had not succeeded in practicing it. Gritting his teeth, Ningyu took out another cold crystal pill and swallowed it. Ningyu was not too worried. Now that he had 3 cold crystal pills, it meant that he had 6 hours to practice the innate malevolent sword wave. According to his judgment, 6 hours was enough for him to practice the innate malevolent sword wave to the great accomplishment realm. Time flew, and 6 hours passed in the blink of an eye. Ningyu's eyes were burning hot. With a flick of his wrist, he kept the soul-breaking sword into his storage ring. Ning Yu hurried to the left hall. At this moment, the Dark Emperor's anxious voice was heard, causing Ning Yu's expression to change. Not daring to delay, Ning Yu rushed out of the right hall and entered the left hall. Just as he entered the left hall, Ning Yu saw the Dark Emperor standing upright with his front claws on a transparent barrier. Inside the barrier, there was a ball of golden energy. Ning Yu, this barrier is at its weakest now. Hurry up and break it for me. Seeing Ning Yu enter, the Dark Emperor yelled. With a thought, the soul-breaking sword appeared in his hand. Innate malevolent sword wave. The soul-breaking sword vibrated at a strange frequency. Soon, a sword light appeared in the void and slammed toward the barrier in front of the Dark Emperor. Bang! This attack of Ning Yu's was immensely powerful. In the blink of an eye, it landed on the barrier. In the next instant, there was a loud bang and the barrier was blasted open. Ning Yu, you almost hit me. After complaining, the Dark Emperor increased his speed and instantly rushed in front of the ball of golden energy. He opened his mouth and swallowed it. Ning Yu, protect me. I need to refine this energy. The Dark Emperor's voice entered Ning Yu's ears. Once I refine this energy, my cultivation will recover to its peak. At that time, I can fly as high as the sky and jump as the sea. Slightly taken aback, Ning Yu was a little stunned. He could feel that the ball of energy that the Dark Emperor had swallowed was extremely huge, so huge that it made his heart palpitate. Ning Yu knew that the energy belonged to the Dark Emperor and had nothing to do with him. Holding the soul-breaking sword in his hand, Ning Yu slowly retreated out of the left hall to protect the Dark Emperor. Swish! However, just as he left the left hall, Ning Yu's expression changed because he saw a familiar figure in front of him. Zhang Wenyong. Clenching his fists tightly, Ning Yu said in a deep voice. Ning Yu. Zhang Wenyong didn't expect to run into Ning Yu here, so he was stunned for a moment. But very quickly, his eyes narrowed, and he said in a deep voice, Do you have my jade bracelet on you? Devouring jade bracelet? With a thought, Ning Yu took out the devouring jade bracelet from his storage ring. Good, very good. I originally wanted to let you live, but since you have the devouring jade bracelet on you, I'm sorry, but this day next year will be the anniversary of your death. The moment he finished speaking, Zhang Wenyong rose from the ground and boundless origin energy appeared all over his body. His body was like a sharp sword as he attacked Ning Yu. Sensing the boundless origin energy fluctuations around Zhang Wenyong, Ning Yu's heart trembled. This was because the strength of the origin energy had clearly surpassed the mid-stage of the innate realm and reached the late stage of the innate realm. Sky Bane Sword Wave. The origin energy in the cyclone surged crazily as Ning Yu swung the Absolute Soul Sword. The next moment, a monstrous sword aura swept across the sky and charged at Zhang Wenyong at an astonishing speed. The sword aura was extremely fast and appeared in front of Zhang Wenyong in the blink of an eye. No. Feeling the boundless origin energy fluctuations from the sword aura, Zhang Wenyong growled in a low voice and stopped his body. He madly mobilized the origin energy in his body and formed a huge origin energy shield on the surface of his body. Whoosh! The sword aura was extremely fast. Like the scythe of the Grim Reaper, it easily tore through Zhang Wenyong's defense and landed heavily on his chest. Ah! In that instant, Zhang Wenyong's heart-wrenching scream resounded throughout the entire Elixir Dragon Valley. Amidst Zhang Wenyong's scream, the sword aura suddenly exploded and pierced through his body. The huge impact sent Zhang Wenyong's body flying. Then, with a loud bang, he slammed heavily into the stone wall behind him. Boom! Just then, a loud explosion sounded and the entire hall began to shake. Gotcha! The shaking was very obvious. Even the ground was shaking and cracks appeared in the space. Damn it! The Elixir Dragon Valley is going to collapse. In that instant, countless martial artists in the Elixir Dragon Valley fled desperately towards the entrance of the Elixir Dragon Valley. Rumble! In the next moment, the entire Elixir Dragon Valley collapsed. Countless rocks fell to the ground and the surrounding walls collapsed. However, just as Ningyu was about to rush into the left hall to warn the Dark Emperor, a startling light beam shot out from under his feet and enveloped the entire Medicine Emperor Hall. The shaking of the Elixir Dragon Valley lasted for a full hour. Due to the protection of the light beam, the Medicine Emperor Hall was safe and sound. Not good. Before Ningyu could celebrate, countless figures suddenly flew over from afar and landed in front of the Medicine Emperor Hall. Seeing these figures suddenly appear, Ningyu's face darkened and his heart sank to the bottom. Because, among these people, he saw a familiar figure. It was none other than the black-robed man who blocked the entrance of the Elixir Dragon Valley for Zhang Wenyong. Chapter 76. Zhang Wenyong was killed? Who is that young man? Was he the one who killed Zhang Wenyong? Ningyu, that young man is Ningyu. After a brief silence, exclamations rang out in front of the Medicine King Hall. Many martial artists looked at Ningyu, their faces filled with shock. Back at the entrance of Pill Dragon Valley, the Zhang family's strong performance was still fresh in their minds. Ningyu actually dared to kill Zhang Wenyong. This was a blatant provocation to the Zhang family. Young Master Zhang. The black-robed man saw Zhang Wenyong lying on the ground. His face changed. His toes touched the ground, and instantly landed beside Zhang Wenyong. Seeing that Zhang Wenyong's chest was pierced, his eyes were dim, and he was no longer breathing, the black-robed man was furious. He stared at Ningyu and said fiercely, "You killed young Master Zhang." Holding the soul-severing sword, Ningyu said in a deep voice, "If I say that Zhang Wenyong was not killed by me, would you believe me? Kid, you have guts." The black-robed man's eyes turned cold. In the blink of an eye, he appeared in front of Ningyu, and struck out with his palm. The palm wind contained majestic yuan energy fluctuations. Facing such a powerful palm wind, Ningyu's pupils shrank, the veins on his arms popped, and the soul-severing sword flew out of his hand. The soul-severing sword spun in the air, and soon after, a shocking sword light shot out, blasting towards the black-robed man's palm. Bang! The sword light and the black-robed man's palm collided, a loud sound rang out, and a powerful wave swept out. Then, Ningyu's figure was sent flying, and finally, he fiercely hit the stone wall behind him. The black-robed man did not expect Ningyu to be able to block his full-force attack, and his face suddenly turned a little ugly. One must know that he was a true martial realm martial artist, and Ningyu's cultivation was probably not even at the Xiantian realm. "Kid, I did not expect your strength to be so strong. No wonder you can kill young Master Zhang." After the attack, the black-robed man said gloomily, "Soul-severing sword, come back." Crawling up from the ground, Ningyu's soul force surged. With a wave of his hand, he attempted to retrieve the broken soul sword. A heaven-ranked flying sword. Looks like this trip wasn't in vain. However, just as the breaking soul sword was about to return to Ningyu's side, an elderly figure suddenly shot out from the sky. With a wave of his hand, boundless yuan qi turned into a huge palm that grabbed at the breaking soul sword. This powerful yuan qi undulation caused a biting chill to appear in Ningyu's eyes. Obviously, the old man had reached the peak of the true martial realm. Ningyu's expression was grave as he looked at the huge palm in the sky. His eyes darkened, and the essence in his qi whirlpool surged out crazily. Just as he was about to make a move, his heart skipped a beat, and he quickly turned his head. Above his head, a similar giant palm containing boundless yuan energy appeared and ruthlessly smashed towards the old man's palm. Rumble! An earth-shattering rumble sounded out. Then, the crowd was shocked to find that the old man's giant yuan energy palm was rapidly dissipating under the latter's powerful obstruction. In the sky, after the giant palm dissipated, a figure shot out like a stream of light and steadily landed beside Ningyu. Guanzhong. The old man looked at the figure that had suddenly appeared, his gaze cold as he berated. "Zhang Tai, Given your status, isn't it a little unreasonable for you to deal with a junior? Guan Zhong indifferently said as he shielded Ning Yu behind him. Ha ha ha! With a hearty laugh, Zhang Tai said, Junior? I don't care if he's a junior or not. After killing young Master Zhang, no one in this world can save him. Guan Zhong's expression turned cold as he coldly said, What if I want to protect him today? As Guan Zhong's words faded, a middle-stage true martial realm elder of Danwu College appeared. You want to protect him? With just you and that trash beside you? Zhang Tai sneered. Us too. Soon after, a few martial artists appeared beside Guan Zhong. People from Shuiyu Pavilion. Seeing the sudden appearance of a few figures, Zhang Tai was slightly surprised. He didn't expect Ning Yu to be so popular. Not only did Guan Zhong from Danwu College want to protect him, but now the people from Shuiyu Pavilion also want to protect him. Not bad at all. Zhang Tai's expression was gloomy as he sneered. Normally, I might give you face and let Ning Yu go, but not today, because he killed Zhang Wenyong. Shua. In the next moment, a few figures appeared behind Zhang Tai. Looking at the figures behind Zhang Tai, Guan Zhong and Old Mo's complexion became very ugly. Because of the 6 people behind Zhang Tai, 4 of them had reached the early stage of true martial realm, and 2 of them had even reached the middle stage of true martial realm. Ha ha ha, it's so lively, I wonder if I'm late? At this moment, a loud laughter came from the void, and soon after, a cold light came from afar and turned into a hunchbacked figure. Corpse Sect, Golden Corpse King. Guan Zhong's complexion was quite ugly as he clenched his fist. He had already received accurate information that the Corpse Sect had killed several students of Danwu College who had come to gain experience, and even killed an elder of Danwu College. If he hadn't appeared in time, even the elder leading the team would have been killed. Guan Zhong, why are you so excited to see me? The corner of the Golden Corpse King's mouth rose as he waved his hand, and then a few strange figures appeared. Among these figures, there was one that Ning Yu was very familiar with. It was the Barbarian Corpse King. However, the Barbarian Corpse King was obviously very respectful to the other 2 people, because the other 2 people were at the early stage of true martial realm and the middle stage of true martial realm. Guan Zhong, it seems you can't protect Ning Yu today. With a faint smile, Zhang Tai said, I just want to take Ning Yu's head. As for the grudge between you and the Corpse Sect, I don't want to get involved. Ning Yu is a consecrator of the Snow Domain Pavilion. If you dare to kill him, you will become an enemy of the Snow Domain Pavilion. Lu Wei took a step forward and berated. Ning Yu is the benefactor of the Drunken Cloud Manor. Whoever dares to touch him today, the Drunken Cloud Manor will definitely go all out to kill them. Xiao Yunlan said in a low voice. Back in Pill Dragon Valley, Ning Yu had saved her life. Now, she would definitely help Ning Yu. Zhang Tai's complexion was extremely gloomy, and a chill emerged on his face. Guan Zhong was only an elder of Danwu College. He couldn't represent the entire Danwu College, and protecting Ning Yu was at best his own idea. However, the Drunken Cloud Manor and the Snow Domain Pavilion were different. The 2 juniors who spoke could represent their respective forces. These 2 forces were comparable to the Zhang family, and even slightly stronger than the Zhang family. If it was only the Snow Domain Pavilion protecting Ning Yu, he could withstand the pressure and kill him. But now with the addition of the Drunken Cloud Manor, he felt a lot of pressure. Suddenly, Zhang Tai's eyes turned, and with a flick of his wrist, a storage bag appeared in his hand and said, Golden Corpse King, there are 500,000 high-grade origin crystals inside. As long as you can kill Ning Yu, they will be yours. Jie, 500,000 high-grade origin crystals to buy the life of a Hotian realm martial artist. You are really willing. Chapter 77. 1 million high-grade origin crystals? Golden Corpse King, why don't you just rob me? Zhang Tai almost fainted from anger. Originally, he thought that 500,000 high-grade origin crystals was the limit. He didn't expect the Golden Corpse King to ask for 1 million high-grade origin crystals. In the black market, 1 million high-grade origin crystals was enough to buy a low-grade heaven-rank flying sword. Shrugging his shoulders, the Golden Corpse King said indifferently, "If you don't want to, I won't force you. After all, killing Ningyu requires pressure from the three forces. The corpse sect can't handle it." "Can't handle my ass," Zhang Tai cursed in his heart. In the Great Xia Kingdom, the corpse sect was the target of everyone. They had already become enemies with the three forces. Although Zhang Tai thought that, he didn't say it out loud. He gritted his teeth and said, 800,000 high-grade origin crystals. Fine, 800,000 it is. Just treat it as making a friend. After pondering for a while, the Golden Corpse King turned around and said, "Which one of you is willing to make a move?" The Barbarian Corpse King stepped forward and said fiercely, "Hall Master, I am willing to kill Ningyu." Ever since Ningyu escaped from his hands, the Barbarian Corpse King had been very angry and wanted to find a chance to kill Ningyu. How could he miss such a good opportunity? The Golden Corpse King nodded and said, "Go, finish this quickly." "Yes." The Barbarian Corpse King's body flashed and landed in front of Ningyu. At this moment, Zhang Tai waved his hand. Immediately, several figures behind him flew out and surrounded Lu Wei's group. "Zhang Tai, what are you doing?" Guan Zhong scolded. "Nothing, I just want to stretch my body," Zhang Tai said slowly. "I already promised not to kill Ningyu, what else do you want?" "You." Guan Zhong was very angry, but there was nothing he could do. The Zhang family had brought a lot of experts this time. He, the Snow Pavilion, and the Drunken Cloud Manor could only stop the Zhang family from attacking Ningyu. Now that the experts of the Corpse Insect had intervened, he couldn't help Ningyu. According to Zhang Tai's attitude, as long as he helped Ningyu, the experts of the Zhang family would definitely not sit idly by. At that time, not only would Ningyu not be able to save him, but many people would also be implicated. "Elder Guan, thank you for your kindness. I also want to exchange a few moves with the Barbarian Corpse King." At this moment, Ningyu took a step forward, the soul-severing sword in his hand, and said solemnly, "He came to the Ning family and ambushed me. I will never forget this." Ningyu, the Barbarian Corpse King, is a cultivator at the consummate level of the Xiantian realm. You are not his opponent. Before Guanzhong could speak, Lu Wei hastily said, "That's right, Ningyu, at this time, you must not let your emotions affect your decisions." Xiao Yunlan angrily stomped her feet and said, in their opinion, Ningyu was definitely not a match for the Barbarian Corpse King. After all, Ningyu was only at the Hotian realm, while the Barbarian Corpse King was at the consummate level of the Xiantian realm. The gap between the two couldn't be measured. Ningyu waved his hand and said, "It's fine. It won't be that easy for the Barbarian Corpse King to kill me." As soon as he finished speaking, Ningyu's mind moved, and the Yuan Qi in his knowledge seed burst out. Whoosh! At this moment, the surrounding young martial artists' faces changed, and they all looked at Ningyu in surprise. This was because the Yuan Qi around Ningyu's body had reached the late stage of the Xiantian realm. "Good boy, if you are given more time to grow, it is very likely that even I will not be your opponent." The Barbarian Corpse King was secretly shocked. He didn't expect that Ningyu's strength would increase so much in just a few days. His face darkened and he stomped his feet on the ground. His body turned into a shadow, and he charged straight at Ningyu. Netherworld Samsara Palm, First Palm, Absolute Dust. The surrounding Yuan Qi instantly entered Ningyu's palm. Then, with a flick of his wrist, an illusory palm print flew out. Second palm, solitary name. After striking out with the palm, Ningyu's wrist did not stop. Instead, he continued to form hand seals and struck out with another palm. Ningyu didn't use the Supreme Nine Purities sword art immediately. Instead, He wanted to test the power of the netherworld samsara palm. After all, his cyclone had already split into two, and the yuan qi in each cyclone was comparable to a late-stage Xiantian realm martial artist. Facing Ning Yu's two palm prints, the barbarian corpse king's expression was solemn. He repeatedly struck out with both hands, and yuan qi palm prints swept out, meeting the palm prints head-on. Crack, crack, crack. In the next moment, the barbarian corpse king's yuan qi palm prints were completely shattered. Swoosh. At the same time, the last palm print had already arrived in front of the barbarian corpse king's head, and it pressed down fiercely. Een corpse fist. The barbarian corpse king's pupils shrank slightly, and a deep roar suddenly came out of his mouth. In the next moment, a huge fist aura surged wildly, and finally, it ruthlessly struck at Ning Yu's palm print. A terrifying yuan qi wave swept down from midair, and very quickly spread out in this area. Bang! A loud sound rang out, and then a figure rushed out in a sorry state, and finally crashed into a small tree, breaking it in half. Wiping the blood from the corner of his mouth, Ning Yu stood up with difficulty, and a cold look appeared in his eyes. Barbarian Corpse King, you have already touched the threshold of the true martial realm. Ha ha ha, Ning Yu, this is all thanks to you. With a loud laugh, the Barbarian Corpse King smiled sinisterly. A few days ago, after you escaped, I concentrated on cultivating, and now my strength is twice as strong as before. Ning Yu, this day next year will be the anniversary of your death. In the next moment, a cold voice suddenly came out of the Barbarian Corpse King's mouth. The Barbarian Corpse King's palm quickly moved, and then, a blood-colored phantom appeared behind him. Immediately after, the Barbarian Corpse King took a step forward, and all the primordial qi in his body was suddenly injected into the blood-red shadow. An astonishing strong wind swept out crazily, bringing with it a terrifying gust of wind that seemed to be able to destroy the heavens and earth. Blood Corpse Shadow. It turned out to be the unique skill of the Corpse sect, Blood Corpse Shadow. This time, Ning Yu is in danger. Not everyone can cultivate the Blood Corpse Shadow. I didn't expect the Barbarian Corpse King to succeed. Yes, the Blood Corpse Shadow is extremely difficult to cultivate. It needs to kill a lot of martial artists and use their hearts to cultivate. By relying on the Blood Corpse Shadow, the Barbarian Corpse King can even contend with a true martial realm early-stage martial artist. The sounds of discussion quietly spread in the surroundings. Everyone agreed that Ning Yu was finished. The Blood Corpse Shadow behind the Barbarian Corpse King was extremely powerful, and it could contend with a true martial realm early-stage martial artist. Elder Guan, quickly help Ning Yu. Xiao Yunlan, who was next to him, said anxiously with an ashen face. Experts of the Snow Domain Pavilion, listen up, protect Ning Yu at all costs. Lu Wei clenched her fists, and the worry on her face was no less than Xiao Yunlan's. At this moment, Zhang Tai's aura was released, and he said coldly, I advise you not to have any thoughts. I'm already being extremely benevolent by not killing Ning Yu personally. As for whether he can survive the Barbarian Corpse King's attack, that will depend on his luck. Guan Zhong's face was ashen, and the aura of a peak true martial realm gushed out, forming a confrontation with Zhang Tai. Chapter 78. Damn it! Ning Yu cursed inwardly as he stared at the blood-colored corpse that was just inches away from him. He tapped the ground with the tip of his foot and retreated. In the process of retreating, Ning Yu shook his wrist and the soul-breaking sword appeared in his hand. Ning Yu's expression was extremely grave as he released his soul force. He did not dare to be careless. He felt an extremely dangerous aura from the blood-colored corpse that made his heart palpitate. Heaven Fiend's sword ripple. At the crucial moment, Ning Yu released his soul force and slashed down with the soul-breaking sword in his hand. Swoosh! A shocking sword ray shot out from the soul-breaking sword and clashed with the blood-colored corpse under everyone's shocked gazes. Ning Yu, You want to contend against my blood-colored corpse with this sword? You're too naive. What? Looking at the sword ray that shot out from the soul-breaking sword, the corner of the barbarian corpse king's mouth rose. Just when he was about to mock, his expression changed drastically, and he turned around to run. Chi. The soul-breaking sword was a heaven-ranked flying sword. When used with the second form of the Supreme Nine Purities sword art, its power was boundless. The sword ray slashed the blood-colored corpse into two and then shot towards the barbarian corpse king like a rocket. Seeing that the sword ray was about to hit him, the barbarian corpse king's eyes turned ferocious. He blocked with his right hand in front of his chest and clashed with the sword ray. Ah! However, the barbarian corpse king had obviously underestimated the sword ray's power. The power of the second form of the Supreme Nine Purities sword art, the Heaven Fiend sword ripple, was comparable to an all-out attack from a true martial realm martial artist. As the barbarian corpse king screamed miserably, his arm was severed by the sharp sword ray and fell to the ground. The heart-wrenching scream made the barbarian corpse king's face turn pale. Buzz. After the soul-breaking sword ray severed the barbarian corpse king's arm, its yuan qi was finally exhausted and it dissipated. Hua! The sudden change made everyone's jaws drop and their eyes widen. They were somewhat dumbfounded. They never thought that the situation would change so dramatically. The barbarian corpse king, who had the absolute advantage in strength, actually had its arm chopped off by Ningyu? If they didn't see it with their own eyes, they wouldn't believe it even if they were beaten to death. After a brief silence, the crowd erupted into a flurry of discussion. Are my eyes playing tricks on me? Ningyu chopped off the barbarian corpse king's arm? Of course you're not seeing things. I didn't expect Ningyu to be so powerful. First, he broke the barbarian corpse king's blood-colored corpse shadow, and then he cut off the barbarian corpse king's arm. Heaven-ranked flying sword. The flying sword in Ningyu's hand is at least a heaven-grade flying sword. More or less. Otherwise, it wouldn't be that powerful. The discussions that came from the surroundings caused the barbarian corpse king's face to turn ashen, as if he had eaten shit. In the few confrontations with Ningyu, he was always at a disadvantage. This time, even his arm was chopped off. Ningyu, I want you dead. With a loud roar, the barbarian corpse king endured the intense pain from his arm and dashed out in an instant. His figure appeared in front of Ningyu like a ghost. His left hand carried violent essence and smashed towards Ningyu's head. Not good. Seeing the barbarian corpse king's fierce attack, Ningyu's expression changed slightly. He didn't expect the barbarian corpse king to still be able to unleash such a powerful attack after his right arm was chopped off. After a brief moment of shock, Ningyu formed a seal with both hands and waved them in the air rapidly. Energy-gathering handprint. As the previous attack had exhausted all the essence in the cyclone, Ningyu had no choice but to use the energy-gathering handprint to plunder all the essence in the surroundings. Innate Fiend Sword Wave. After plundering some essence, Ningyu used the Innate Fiend Sword Wave again. Buzz. This time, due to the lack of essence, the power of the Innate Fiend Sword Wave was much weaker than the previous time. However, the barbarian corpse king's battle prowess had also dropped by a lot. If the barbarian corpse king's previous attack was equivalent to an early-stage true martial realm martial artist, then the current attack was only equivalent to a late-stage Xiantian realm martial artist. After losing an arm, the barbarian corpse king's strength had dropped by at least half. Swish. Seeing Ningyu use the same move again, the barbarian corpse king's body stiffly stopped in the air. The barbarian corpse king stopped moving, but Ningyu didn't stay idle. The instant the soul-severing sword ray blasted out, his body shot out explosively, and the netherworld samsara palm blasted out towards the barbarian corpse king's chest. Seeing Ningyu approaching him, the barbarian corpse king clenched his left fist and the corner of his mouth slightly rose. A wisp of corpse Yin Qi quietly flowed out of his body and entered his left fist. Ningyu, even if I have to suffer serious injuries this time, I will still kill you. The barbarian corpse king clenched his left fist tightly and fiercely said. He had never been as humiliated as he was today. In front of so many people, his right arm had been chopped off by a Hotian realm martial artist. If this matter were to spread back to the corpse sect, where would he put his face? How would he establish himself in the corpse sect in the future? Therefore, the barbarian corpse king made up his mind to kill Ningyu. Moreover, he couldn't let Ningyu die easily. He had to make him die a painful death. Corpse in Chi. Suddenly, Ningyu's mind moved and a sense of danger involuntarily rose in his heart. Releasing his soul force, Ningyu saw the wisps of chi on the barbarian corpse king's left fist. His eyes turned and an evil smile appeared on his face. Pucci! At this moment, the soul-severing sword wave struck the barbarian corpse king's chest. The huge force caused the barbarian corpse king to retreat a few steps before he could stabilize his body. Barbarian corpse king, eat my fist! Ningyu changed his palm into a fist and punched towards the barbarian corpse king's left hand. Today, I want to see if your fist is harder or if mine is more powerful. Ignoring the sharp pain coming from his chest, the barbarian corpse king's left fist carried a real yuan chi gale that wrapped around the corpse in chi. Instead of retreating, it advanced towards Ningyu. As the distance between him and Ningyu grew closer, the barbarian corpse king seemed to see the miserable state of Ningyu when he was hit by the corpse in chi. The corner of his mouth couldn't help but rise, revealing a sinister smile. What? However, when he was still 20 centimeters away from Ningyu, Ningyu suddenly withdrew his fist and the soul-severing sword appeared in his hand. Barbarian corpse king, do you think I would be stupid enough to exchange fists with you? Holding the soul-severing sword, Ningyu slashed out. Ah! Immediately, the barbarian corpse king let out a miserable shriek like a pig being slaughtered. Large beads of sweat quickly dripped down his forehead. Thump! With his left hand chopped off, the barbarian corpse king's body fell from the sky and fiercely hit the ground. Ningyu, I defended against your soul attack spell, but I didn't expect you to have a heaven-rank flying sword, the barbarian corpse king said fiercely as he endured the stinging pain coming from his arms. Just because I can't get your soul attack spell doesn't mean others can't. With that, the barbarian corpse king turned around and respectfully said to the golden corpse king, Hall Master, Ningyu has mastered a soul attack spell. If I'm not wrong, it should be Tian. Courting death. Before the barbarian corpse king finished speaking, Ningyu's expression changed greatly. Once others found out that he had mastered a soul attack spell, he would be in endless trouble in the future. In the next moment, he stomped his feet on the ground and his body instantly shot out. With the soul-severing sword in his hand, he slashed at the barbarian corpse king's head. Brat, you dare to kill someone from my corpsine sect! Chapter 79. Swoosh. As soon as he finished speaking, a shadow flashed by and appeared in front of Ningyu like a ghost. His fist carried a violent gust of wind as it fiercely smashed toward Ningyu's chest. Not good. The sudden change made Ningyu's expression change. Without time to think, he stopped in the air and turned his head, holding the soul-breaking sword in front of him. Innate demon sword wave. The yuan chi in his body gushed out and entered the soul-breaking sword without any reservation. Then, a ray of sword light shot out and collided with the fierce wind. Ding! In the next moment, a crisp sound was heard. Ningyu felt a numbness in his hand and the soul-breaking sword flew out of his hand. Puff! Grabbing the soul-breaking sword, the golden corpse king stopped and did not continue to attack. Immediately, the golden corpse king sent his soul force into the soul-breaking sword, trying to erase Ningyu's soul imprint. However, when his soul force entered the soul-breaking sword, it disappeared like a stone sinking into the sea. What's going on? The Golden Corpse King thought there was a problem somewhere and sent his soul force into the soul-breaking sword again. This time, the Golden Corpse King was finally moved, because his soul power had disappeared once again. There's something strange about this flying sword. The Golden Corpse King looked at Ningyu and said, "Tell me, what's going on with this flying sword? If you tell me, I can spare your life." Luckily, he doesn't know about devouring flying swords. Hearing the Golden Corpse King's words, Ningyu let out a sigh of relief. Since the Golden Corpse King didn't know about devouring flying swords, it meant that he couldn't imprint his soul force in it. With a thought, Ningyu said calmly, "I obtained this flying sword by chance. As for what's going on with it, I'm not sure either." Humph! With a cold snort, the Golden Corpse King's powerful aura pressed down on Ningyu. He said coldly, "Don't play dumb with me. What I'm asking is why my soul force disappeared the moment it entered the flying sword." Under the pressure of the Golden Corpse King's powerful aura, Ningyu's stamina began to weaken. His legs felt like they were being crushed by 1,000 kilograms of rocks. Ningyu forcefully endured the immense force coming from his knees. He pointed at Zhang Tai and said, "I think you should ask him." As he spoke, Ningyu took out the devouring jade bangle and said, "I obtained this bangle and that flying sword from Zhang Wenyong." Jade bracelet. Seeing the jade bracelet in Ningyu's hand, Zhang Tai's eyes turned cold. His silhouette flickered as he rushed over. Whoosh! Zhang Tai's actions caused the Golden Corpse King to frown. With a flash, the Golden Corpse King blocked Zhang Tai's path and said in a deep voice, "I hereby announce that everything on Ningyu belongs to me. If anyone else dares to interfere, don't blame me for being impolite." "You!" Zhang Tai did not expect the Golden Corpse King to do this. He was momentarily stunned, but soon, he said coldly, "Golden Corpse King, the jade bracelet in Ningyu's hand belongs to the Zhang clan. I must get it back today. It might have belonged to the Zhang clan in the past, but from now on, it belongs to me." Shrugging, the Golden Corpse King ignored Zhang Tai and said indifferently, "Ningyu, give me the jade bracelet and I will consider only taking your arms. Here you go." With a flick of his wrist, Ningyu threw the jade bracelet between Zhang Tai and the Golden Corpse King. Ningyu was not stupid. Right now, he could only stall for time until the Dark Emperor recovered to his peak. Only then would he have a chance of survival. The energy that the Dark Emperor had devoured was enormous. According to his estimation, the Dark Emperor at his peak would at least be at the peak of the true martial realm. Furthermore, the sky-devouring Hound clan was extremely overbearing. It was not difficult for them to challenge someone of a higher level. Once the Dark Emperor recovered to his peak, he would be able to escape from this deadly situation. Whoosh! Whoosh! As expected, when Zhang Tai and the Golden Corpse King saw the jade bracelet, they immediately rushed toward it. After knowing the uniqueness of the soul-breaking sword, the Golden Corpse King coveted the jade bracelet. To Zhang Tai, the jade bracelet was the Zhang clan's treasure. The order he received was to retrieve it at all costs, even if he had to lose Zhang Wenyong. As Zhang Tai and the Golden Corpse King fought over the jade bracelet, Ningyu quickly took out a high-grade origin crystal and sat on the ground. He then activated the spiritual transformation technique to replenish his origin chi. In order to block the Golden Corpse King's attack, Ningyu exhausted all the essence in his body, leaving not a shred of it. Now was the perfect time to replenish his origin chi. Rustle. However, after a while, Zhang Tai and the Golden Corpse King said something, and they immediately stopped. The Golden Corpse King gave up on the jade bracelet and coldly said, "Ningyu, I'll give you one last chance. Are you going to tell me or not?" Golden Corpse King, I bought that flying sword from the extreme grade pavilion for 300 high-grade origin crystals. If you don't believe me, you can go and ask. Ningyu took a deep breath. He knew that it was impossible to trick the Golden Corpse King. 300 high-grade origin crystals can buy a heaven-grade flying sword? The Golden Corpse King was stunned for a moment before he gloomily said, "It seems like you won't tell the truth if I don't teach you a lesson." A low-grade heaven-grade flying sword was worth 1,000,000 high-grade origin crystals on the black market. Ningyu actually said he bought it for 300 high-grade origin crystals. Was he treating the Golden Corpse King as a fool? Since that's the case, I can only take you back to the corpse sect and slowly interrogate you. As his voice fell, the Golden Corpse King waved his sleeve. The yuan qi around Ningyu became a little chaotic. An extremely terrifying energy seeped out from the void, causing his body to be unable to move at all. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At this moment, 3 powerful attacks came from afar and fiercely hit the space next to Ningyu, shattering the terrifying power. Golden Corpse King, if you want to touch Ningyu, my snow domain pavilion will not allow it. Lu Wei stepped forward and a golden token appeared in her hand. Her cold voice slowly sounded, "Snow Domain Pavilion's highest secret order, protect Ningyu at all costs." Immediately, 3 figures landed in front of Ningyu and surrounded Ningyu. 2 were at the early stage of the true martial realm, and 1 was at the middle stage. For a Hotian realm martial artist, Snow Domain Pavilion is really willing. Looking at the golden token in Lu Wei's hand, the Golden Corpse King shook his head and said, "But with just these 3 pieces of trash, it's far from enough. I didn't want to start a massacre, but since you came to me, don't blame me." The corner of the Golden Corpse King's mouth rose and a sinister smile appeared on his face. Immediately, his hands slowly rose and everyone felt the origin qi in the world, from bottom to top, completely riot. "Be careful." Feeling the riot of origin qi around him, Lu Feng's face was extremely solemn. Among the 3 brothers, he had the highest cultivation level, but he was only at the middle stage of the true martial realm. Lu Hu and Lu Bao were only at the early stage of the true martial realm. And the Golden Corpse King was at the peak of the true martial realm. However, he had no intention of retreating. His tower-like body blocked in front of Ningyu. If he wanted to kill Ningyu, he had to step over them. Chapter 80. Golden Corpse King, if I don't die today, I will definitely flatten the corpse sect in the future. Ningyu's eyes were blood-red. A sharp light suddenly flashed on his fist as the violent soul force in his body surged out. The Golden Corpse King's eyes sank when he sensed the powerful soul force fluctuation around Ningyu. He could sense that the strength of Ningyu's soul force had at least reached the peak of grade 3. "I can't let you live today." With a roar, the Golden Corpse King flicked his finger and a black ray of light shot towards Ningyu. Swish! Lu Feng's expression turned solemn. His figure flickered and his body surged with yuan qi as he stood in front of Ningyu. Boom! Lu Feng's body was sent flying the moment he came into contact with the black ray of light. Crack! Following this, a terrifying force invaded Lu Feng's body, causing the sound of bones cracking to be heard in the area. "Big brother!" Lu Hu and Lu Bao let out heart-wrenching roars when they saw Lu Feng being pushed back with a single move. Their roars were filled with monstrous rage. "Go!" Lu Hu and Lu Bao stomped on the ground and charged towards the Golden Corpse King. Hee. The corner of the Golden Corpse King's lips curled up as he waved his right hand in the air. It turned into a huge palm with violent yuan qi. Poochie! Poochie! The palm arrived before Lu Hu and Lu Bao in the blink of an eye and slammed into their chests under their horrified gazes. Lu Hu and Lu Bao were sent flying as if they were struck by lightning. They spat out a mouthful of blood and looked extremely miserable. "Since you guys want to protect Ningyu, you should be prepared to be killed." In the next moment, the Golden Corpse King's figure appeared in front of Lu Feng and the other 2 like a ghost. Then, he threw 3 punches at their chests. Not good. Lu Feng and the others narrowed their eyes as the yuan qi in their bodies gathered on their chests, forming a small yuan qi shield on the surface of their skin. Crack! 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 However, the Golden Corpse King's attack was extremely powerful. The The Yuan Qi barrier on their chests only lasted for a moment before it completely shattered. Then, under the terrified gazes of Lu Feng and the others, 3 almost tangible fist auras ruthlessly smashed into their chests. Pucci! Even though Lu Feng and the other 2 had resisted with all their might, they were still unable to withstand such a sharp fist light from the Golden Corpse King. Their bodies were once again sent flying. Crimson blood spurted out and his face turned pale. His aura instantly dropped to the freezing point. 3 pieces of trash. They can't even withstand a single blow. With a smile, the Golden Corpse King turned to Ning Yu and said, "I'm done with them, now it's your turn." Golden Corpse King, it won't be that easy to kill me. Taking a deep breath, Ning Yu's face turned solemn. The soul power on his palm became violent and wrapped around his palm. Netherworld Samsara Palm, Gu Ming. As the palm shot out, the sky and earth changed color. A tangible palm appeared in the sky and shot towards the Golden Corpse King at an astonishing speed. Swoosh! Ning Yu's palm caused the surrounding martial artists to have a slight change in expression. From the palm, they could feel a huge pressure from the depths of their souls, causing their expressions to change. "Is this a soul attack technique?" The Golden Corpse King's indifferent voice resounded in the area as he looked at the incoming palm without any emotion. "If you were also in the true martial realm, you might be able to pose a little bit of a hindrance to me. As for now, it doesn't pose any threat to me. Go!" As the Golden Corpse King roared in his heart, his right hand made a grabbing motion in the air. Instantly, a cold light containing violent Yuan Qi shot out. In the sky, a huge Yuan Qi claw was formed, emitting a terrifying pressure. The huge Yuan Qi claw print instantly collided with Ning Yu's substantial palm print. Boom! A low muffled sound resounded in the sky. Then, a figure fell to the ground like a kite with a broken string. Ning Yu. On the other side, Xiao Yunlan bit her lips and clenched her fists. However, just as she was about to rush out, she was held back by Guanzhong. "Don't be rash. You'll only die if you go," Guanzhong shouted. He was very clear that even if he used his full strength, he might not be a match for the Golden Corpse King. Because the Golden Corpse King was not an ordinary peak true martial realm martial artist. According to his speculation, the Golden Corpse King had already touched the threshold of the Yuan Dan realm. Xiao Yunlan's body trembled slightly. In the inner valley of Pill Dragon Valley, Ningyu had saved her life. She originally thought that she could protect Ningyu, but in just a few minutes, she felt a sense of helplessness and powerlessness that she had never felt before. Xiao Yunlan's body trembled for a while before she suddenly calmed down. "Elder Guan, is there really no other way?" Guanzhong looked at Xiao Yunlan in astonishment. He was a little shocked. The latter's calmness was as if she was not involved in the matter. If Guanzhong did not know that Ningyu had saved Xiao Yunlan, he would definitely think that Xiao Yunlan and Ningyu had nothing to do with each other. Slowly shaking his head, Guanzhong said bitterly, "Unless there is a miracle, there is no other way. Golden Corpse King, the Snow Pavilion is absolutely irreconcilable with you." Lu Wei's pretty face turned green with anger. She said fiercely, "If you dare to kill Ningyu, you will have to bear the wrath of the Snow Pavilion in the future." Swoosh. Hearing this, the Golden Corpse King suddenly turned his head and stared at Lu Wei. He smiled evilly and said, "I originally did not want to kill you, but since you have said so much, I can't let you live." While speaking, the Golden Corpse King walked towards Lu Wei step by step. At the same time, he released the aura of the peak of the true martial realm and fiercely pressed down on Lu Wei. After all, Lu Wei's cultivation was only at the peak of the post-liminary realm. How could she withstand the huge pressure from the Golden Corpse King? The huge force coming from her knees made her sweat profusely. Both her legs felt as if they were being pressed by a huge boulder. She could not move at all. "Eldest Miss." Elder Mo's expression changed greatly. The aura of his whole body frantically surged out and completely blocked the pressure from Lu Wei. However, he was after all only half a step into the true martial realm. Naturally, he could not withstand the powerful pressure from the Golden Corpse King. Poochie! A mouthful of blood was spat out. Elder Mo and Lu Wei's bodies were both sent flying. Ningyu looked at the figure that was sent flying. Both of his eyes turned blood red. In the next moment, he rushed out and tightly hugged the beautiful figure in the air. Lu Wei, is it worth it for me? Looking at the slender figure in his arms, Ningyu growled. Chapter 81. Pa. The Golden Corpse King clapped his hands as he slowly walked forward. A smile surfaced on the corner of his mouth as he said, "TSK, what a loving couple. Don't you guys know that flaunting your love will only lead to quicker death? Fine, I can't be bothered to speak with you guys. Let's end this." Swish. As his voice rang out, the Golden Corpse King's eyes turned cold as a dark green gas shot out from his eyes. It rumbled towards Ningyu at an astonishing speed. Corpse In Chi. Ningyu's heart sank to the bottom as he watched the dark green gas approach him. Because he sensed a dense aura of Corpse In Chi from the jade green gas. This aura was countless times stronger than the aura emitted by the barbarian Corpse King. The only thing I can do now is to burn my soul force. Ningyu took a deep breath as he frantically circulated the spirit transformation art in his body. Strands of Yuan Qi wrapped around his spirit force in an attempt to ignite it. Swish. However, just as he was about to ignite his spirit force, his mind shook and he hastily turned his head. A ray of cold light suddenly shot over from the sky. At the same time, an arrogant voice resounded across the region. "Old fart, have you asked your grandpa dog if you want to touch Ningyu?" The arrogant words were mixed with berserk energy ripples. Like spring thunder, it rapidly spread across the region, attracting the attention of countless martial practitioners. Under everyone's attention, a huge dog paw appeared beside the Golden Corpse King in a few flashes. Boom! The huge dog paw was accompanied by berserk energy as it viciously slammed against the dark green gas that was attacking Ningyu. Chi. As the two violent attacks collided, a clear chi sound rang out. In the next instant, many martial artists saw the emerald green gas shooting out from the Golden Corpse King's eyes swiftly dissipate amidst the chi sound. "Who are you?" The Golden Corpse King's expression was quite grave as he watched the faintly disappearing enormous dog paw after seeing the jade-green cold glow being scattered. He let out a low cry. As the energy ripples dissipated, a robust figure swiftly appeared beside Ningyu. Seeing the figure that suddenly appeared, the surrounding cultivators' jaws dropped so wide that an egg could fit inside. Their eyes were filled with shock and horror. That's because the one beside Ningyu wasn't a human, but a dog. What the fuck, what's going on? A dog? That dog has turned into a spirit? It can actually speak? A dog is already so powerful. Are we even inferior to a dog? Cries of surprise sounded out from the surroundings, causing the Dark Emperor to feel a little smug. He raised his dog head high, looking like he was asking for a beating. "Dark Emperor, you've finally appeared. I thought that I wouldn't be able to wait for you to come out." Ningyu finally relaxed when he saw the Dark Emperor. He couldn't sense the slightest fluctuation from the Dark Emperor's body. There were only two kinds of situations. One was a person that posed no threat, and the other was someone whose strength far surpassed his, causing him to be unable to sense it. Clearly, the Dark Emperor belonged to the latter. "Hee Ningyu, you go pick up girls. Leave the rest to me." Standing on his hind legs, the Dark Emperor waved his dog paw and said casually, "Just who are you? No, just what kind of dog are you?" The Golden Corpse King's expression was somewhat ugly as he said coldly. He could feel an extremely dangerous aura from the Dark Emperor. That aura made him not dare to act rashly. Noisy. The Dark Emperor turned around and revealed a human-like look of disdain on his dog face. Someone who deals with corpses all day is worthy of talking to me? Hearing the Dark Emperor's words, the Golden Corpse King's face immediately darkened. He said coldly, "If I'm not wrong, you haven't advanced to the origin core stage. At most, you're only a peak rank 4 demonic beast." Peak rank 4? But it's enough to deal with an old dog like you. Twisting his dog head, the Dark Emperor reached out with his front paw. A black flame slowly rose from his paw, revealing a powerful killing intent. Courting death. In the air, the Golden Corpse King's eyes darkened as he quickly waved his hands. As he waved his hands, a strange fluctuation appeared behind him. Rustle. Following that, a giant crimson figure appeared behind him. Today, I'll let you have a taste of the ultimate technique of the Corpse Sect, the Crimson Corpse Shadow. The Golden Corpse King's figure suddenly burst forth as a powerful Yuan force burst out from his palm. It turned into a giant Yuan force sword that slashed at the Dark Emperor. Humph! With a cold harumph, the Dark Emperor opened his mouth and swallowed the giant Yuan force sword under everyone's astonished gazes. Whoosh! The Dark Emperor's actions left the surrounding cultivators dumbfounded. That was an attack that even a peak true martial realm cultivator wouldn't dare to take, yet it was swallowed by a dog? Burp! After the giant Yuan force sword entered his stomach, the Dark Emperor patted his stomach and let out a burp. Not bad, not bad. The taste is not bad. Crimson Corpse Shadow. The Golden Corpse King was stunned for a moment after the giant Yuan force sword was swallowed. However, he soon reacted and pushed his hands forward, summoning the Crimson Corpse Shadow behind him to attack the Dark Emperor. Whoosh whoosh! The Dark Emperor swung his front paw, causing the black flames on it to emit a sizzling sound from the friction with the air. Bang! The black flames collided with the Crimson Corpse Shadow, resulting in a dull thud. Following this, the two figures were knocked back and landed on the ground. Dark Emperor, be careful. The Crimson Corpse Shadow might not be the Golden Corpse King's trump card. Ning Yu's voice echoed in the Dark Emperor's ears. Although the Crimson Corpse Shadow was powerful, Ning Yu knew that it was definitely not the Golden Corpse King's trump card. "I know," the Dark Emperor said in a deep voice. Through the previous exchange, the Dark Emperor determined that the Golden Corpse King was not weak, and was infinitely close to the Yuan core stage. If they were to fight to the death, the Golden Corpse King would definitely be the one to die. After all, he also had a trump card. However, the Dark Emperor could sense a faintly discernible aura in the surroundings. The true owner of that aura had strength that made his heart palpitate. He would not reveal his true strength before confirming whether the other party was a friend or a foe. Boom! In the distance, the Golden Corpse King threw a punch that contained boundless Yuan force towards the Dark Emperor once again. Seeing this, the Dark Emperor stomped on the ground and shot out, "Ning Yu, hand over your life." However, the moment the Dark Emperor shot out, the Golden Corpse King suddenly turned around and charged towards Ning Yu at an astonishing speed. Shit! Ning Yu didn't expect that the Golden Corpse King would do this. There was some panic in his eyes, but soon, he calmed down. Taking a deep breath, he threw Lu and I to Master Mo and said, "Master Mo, please." Chapter 82. Damn it! Cursing, Ning Yu's soul power surged out and gathered above his head, forming a small soul power barrier. The Golden Corpse King's attack was powerful, and Ning Yu did not have any origin power in his body, so he could only rely on his soul power to block the attack. Die! As if he could see Ning Yu's head exploding, the corner of the Golden Corpse King's lips curled up, and he said with an evil smile, "You should be proud that I sneak attacked you." Crack! In the next moment, the Golden Corpse King's fist collided with the soul power barrier. The soul force barrier only lasted for a split second before it completely shattered. Poochie! The moment the soul power barrier shattered, Ning Yu spat out a mouthful of blood, and his face turned pale. Obviously, his soul power had suffered heavy damage. Swoosh. However, at this moment, Ningyu could not be bothered with the pain coming from the depths of his soul, and he used all his strength to dodge to the side. Bang! Although Ningyu tried his best to dodge, he was still unable to dodge the Golden Corpse King's powerful attack. Fortunately, the soul power barrier lasted for a moment, and Ningyu's body moved slightly to the side. The Golden Corpse King's fist only landed on his chest. If it had landed on his head, his soul would have already returned to heaven. Humph! With a cold snort, the Golden Corpse King moved his feet, wanting to attack Ningyu again. However, just as he moved his feet, his expression changed. He didn't have time to think and immediately retreated. This was because the Dark Emperor had silently appeared beside him, and his front claws were aimed at his head. Golden Corpse! With a low roar, the Golden Corpse King waved his sleeves, and a cold light shot out from his sleeves to meet the Dark Emperor's claws. Bang! As soon as the front claws touched the Golden Corpse King, the Dark Emperor's face darkened, and he forcefully stabilized his body. Come back! Seeing that the Golden Corpse King had blocked the Dark Emperor's attack, the Golden Corpse King let out a low roar and called him back. Corpse! It's a corpse refined by the Golden Corpse King. The strength of that corpse should have reached the peak of the true martial realm, right? That dog is in trouble this time. The Golden Corpse King might not be its match in a one-on-one fight. Now that there's a corpse puppet, the Golden Corpse King's strength has doubled. The discussions in the surroundings caused the Dark Emperor's expression to turn extremely ugly. He knew that the Golden Corpse King might have a trump card, but he didn't expect it to be so powerful. A corpse puppet whose strength had reached the pinnacle of the true martial realm was impossible for him to deal with in a short time without exposing his trump card. Moreover, behind the Golden Corpse King, there was an early-stage true martial realm martial artist and a middle-stage true martial realm martial artist. If they went all out against Ningyu, the consequences would be disastrous. With that thought in mind, the Dark Emperor took a deep breath before a black glow appeared on his body. Woof! Raising its head to the sky and barking, the black light on the Dark Emperor's body suddenly scattered. Then, its body rapidly expanded. In a short span of 3 breaths, the black light had enveloped the entire area. A giant black dog had covered the entire world. Bang! A black icy glow was emitted from the giant body. Under the astonished gazes of the crowd, the Golden Corpse King's corpse puppet was knocked back. What kind of demonic beast is that? The surrounding martial artists stared at the giant creature in the sky in astonishment. They had never seen the Dark Emperor in such a state. Old Guan, do you know what kind of demonic beast it is? Xiao Yunlan asked. It looks familiar, but I'm not too sure. Guan Zhong frowned slightly and shook his head. The Celestial Devouring Hound clan was infamous in the ancient era, and they were the overlords of the world. However, after the last war in the ancient era, they suffered heavy casualties and chose to live in seclusion, rarely appearing in the world. Whoosh! After its body expanded, the Dark Emperor's strength had increased significantly. Its speed increased instead of decreasing. In the blink of an eye, it appeared in front of the Golden Corpse King and swung its giant claw at the latter's head. The Golden Corpse King did not dare to be careless. With a thought, the corpse puppet appeared in front of him. Crack! The corpse puppet's physique was only at the peak of true martial realm, thus it was torn in half by the Dark Emperor's sharp claw. The Golden Corpse King's expression changed. He did not expect the Dark Emperor to be this powerful. Even the corpse puppet that he was proud of was torn in half by the Dark Emperor's claw, causing him to panic. The Dark Emperor would not give the Golden Corpse King any chance. After tearing the corpse puppet into pieces, the Dark Emperor lunged at the Golden Corpse King once again. Whoosh! As the giant claw swept across, the surrounding air gave way to it, causing the hearts of the crowd to tremble in fear. In the blink of an eye, the giant claw tore through the Golden Corpse King's defense and appeared before the Golden Corpse King's head. Under the latter's terrified gaze, the claw came crashing down. Left Custodian, save me! At the crucial moment, the Golden Corpse King let out a heart-wrenching cry. All of a sudden, the Dark Emperor squinted his eyes. He did not have enough time to kill the Golden Corpse King, so he swung his claw at the other side. Buzz! The space on the other side began to ripple. Soon, a figure wrapped in a black robe slowly stepped out. After the figure appeared, he casually waved his hand and a golden figure appeared, clashing with the Dark Emperor's claw. After the attack, the black-robed figure landed beside the Golden Corpse King. Golden Corpse King, you've disappointed me. Go to the Dark Corpse Cave and stay there for 3 months. The black-robed figure said. Dark Corpse Cave. Hearing this, the Golden Corpse King's face was filled with shock. He glared at Ning Yu and said in a low voice, Left Custodian, I understand. A golden yuan core figure. The Left Custodian has transcended life and death and stepped into the primal core realm. The surrounding cultivators looked at the Left Custodian in shock. Their eyes were filled with fear. Ning Yu clenched his fists so tightly that his nails dug into his palms. Things had developed to this stage, which was completely beyond his expectations. I feel a very familiar aura from you. Then, the Left Custodian turned to look at the Dark Emperor and said, This aura is exactly the same as the aura from the huge skeleton in the Corpse Sect's treasury. Whoosh! Hearing the Left Custodian's words, the Dark Emperor's expression became extremely gloomy. Suddenly, the Left Custodian looked in the direction of Xiantian City with a serious expression and muttered, That's fast, but there are still 3 minutes left. 3 minutes is enough for me. The Left Custodian's gaze slowly swept past Guanzhong, Lu Wei, and the others before finally stopping on Ning Yu. Since this dog is willing to risk his life to protect you, you must have some secrets on you. Come with me to the Corpse Sect. The Dark Emperor grabbed Ning Yu on his back and said, Old fart, if you want to take Ning Yu away, you'll have to ask your Lord Dog first. Chapter 83. Ning Yu, sit tight. Sensing the boundless energy fluctuations coming in his direction, the Dark Emperor's face changed. Shortly after, he opened his mouth and spat out a black flame. Whoosh! The temperature of the flame was extremely high. Even the air was sizzling from the heat. It really is the sky-devouring hound tribe. Seeing this, the Left Protector smirked and mumbled, A living sky-devouring hound, if I refine it into a corpse puppet, my strength will at least double. Bang! In the next moment, the dark black flames collided with the Left Protector's vast energy attack. Crack! Following this, a terrifying shock wave spread into the surroundings with the collision as the center. Oh no! Everyone, run! Yeah, let's leave this place. It'll be too late if we wait any longer. A battle of this level isn't something we can watch. The surrounding cultivators were startled as they sensed the powerful shockwave. Their figures flickered as they headed into the distance. Indeed, even the slightest shockwave from a battle of this level would kill them. Damn it! Guanzhong cursed in his heart. He unleashed his aura and surrounded Xiao Yunlan and the others. The shockwave from the battle between the Dark Emperor and the Left Protector was extremely powerful. If he did not block it for Xiao Yunlan and the others, the consequences would be unimaginable. Whoosh! Before the shockwave dissipated, the Left Protector dashed out. His body seemed to have merged with the surrounding space and appeared before the Dark Emperor in the blink of an eye. He threw a punch at the Dark Emperor's head with a ferocious energy wave. Old man, it won't be that easy to kill me. With a low shout, the Dark Emperor's huge tail suddenly swung, bringing with it traces of ripples as it met the Left Protector's fist head-on. Bang! As the fist and tail collided, a deep thud was heard. Then, the Dark Emperor's expression turned hideous as he was sent flying. F***K it hurts. The Dark Emperor clenched his teeth and said after being sent flying. It hurts? You'll feel the pain later. The left protector's face turned cold as a golden core appeared above his head. With a flick of his finger, the illusory golden core shot out and attacked the Dark Emperor at an astonishing speed. Dark Emperor, this is his illusory golden core, let's retreat quickly. Ning Yu's expression changed greatly as he hurriedly reminded. I know even if you don't tell me. In the next moment, black flames surged on the Dark Emperor's 4 hooves, and he instantly accelerated, galloping into the distance. Seeing the Dark Emperor's actions, the left protector sneered, and a pair of energy wings appeared on her back. With a flap, she quickly flew out in pursuit of the Dark Emperor. Xiao! Xiao! In the outer valley of Elixir Dragon Valley, 2 figures, one in front and one behind, moved extremely quickly and disappeared almost in the blink of an eye. Turning his head and looking at the approaching left protector, Ningyu said in a deep voice, Dark Emperor, it is not a solution to continue running like this. We must think of a way to shake off the left protector. No, my speed is not as fast as him. There is no way I can shake him off. Shaking his head, the Dark Emperor said fiercely, the only thing we can do now is to find a way to shatter his illusory golden core. That is the only way we have a chance of survival. Shatter the illusory golden core? Ningyu was slightly taken aback and asked doubtfully, how do we do that? Woof. As soon as Ningyu finished his words, the Dark Emperor barked furiously and his body grew bigger once again. The Dark Emperor swung his back and flung Ningyu down. Then, the Dark Emperor opened his mouth and charged at the left protector's illusory golden core instead of retreating. Dark Emperor, no. At this moment, Ningyu finally realized that the Dark Emperor wanted to swallow the left protector's illusory golden core. Although the Dark Emperor was from the Heaven-Devouring Hound clan and was known to be able to swallow the heavens and earth, that was an illusory golden core. With the Dark Emperor's current state, even if he could swallow the illusory golden core, there was a high chance that his body would explode and he would die. I knew you would do this. Looking at the approaching Dark Emperor, the left protector's mouth curled up and he laughed sinisterly. Since you want to devour my illusory golden core, I'll let you devour it. The left protector waved his sleeve, and a jade-green gas flew out and quietly entered the illusory golden core. As the illusory golden core and the Dark Emperor got closer and closer, the Dark Emperor's eyes suddenly turned blood-red and a pair of purplish-gold wings appeared on his back. Not good. You are the royal family of the Heaven-Devouring Hound clan, the purple-gold Heaven-Devouring Hound. The change in the Dark Emperor caused the left protector's expression to change drastically. He stepped on the air and his speed increased as he tried to retrieve the illusory golden core. Gulp! However, just as the left protector reacted, the Dark Emperor swallowed his illusory golden core. Poochie! As soon as the illusory golden core was swallowed by the Dark Emperor, the left protector spat out a mouthful of blood and his face turned pale. That was because he had lost contact with the illusory golden core. He had completely lost contact with it. Without the illusory golden core, his strength would drop by at least 80%. Plop! After swallowing the illusory golden core, the Dark Emperor's eyes turned abnormally blood-red. Even the fur on his body turned blood-red. Right now, he could not be called the Dark Emperor, but the Red Emperor. Damned dog, I want you dead! With a furious roar, the left protector instantly flew out and attacked the Dark Emperor. The Dark Emperor flapped his purplish-gold wings and swept his huge tail at the left protector's body. Poochie! After the attack, the Dark Emperor suddenly spat out a mouthful of purplish-gold blood. His body suddenly shrank and his aura became somewhat weak. So you were also severely injured. Today, I will skin you alive. The left protector forcefully stopped in the air and clenched his fists tightly. His face was filled with viciousness. Oh no! However, just as the left protector was about to attack again, his expression suddenly changed. Without any time to think, He left behind a blood-red light and disappeared. As soon as the left protector left, the Dark Emperor raised his head and looked into the distance. Then, he gritted his teeth and flapped his purplish-gold wings quickly, charging towards Ningyu. The Dark Emperor was extremely fast. Just as he was about to get close to Ningyu, his body shrank again. Finally, under Ningyu's astonished gaze, he burrowed into the ring on his finger. This Sumeru's storage ring can actually store living things? Ningyu's mouth was slightly open. His face was filled with confusion. He only knew that the Sumeru's storage ring could store things and the space inside was very large, but he did not expect it to be able to store living things. One had to know that a spatial treasure that could store living things was a priceless treasure. It's not surprising that a treasure left behind by the Drug Emperor can store living things. Thinking about the Sumeru's storage ring on his hand that was left behind by the Drug Emperor, Ningyu recovered from his shock. After all, the Drug Emperor was extremely powerful. It made sense that he would leave behind a spatial treasure that could store living things. Dark Emperor, take a good rest inside for a period of time. I will definitely find a way to save you. Ningyu's soul power entered the Sumeru's storage ring and saw the Dark Emperor lying peacefully inside. He took a deep breath and his face was a little solemn. Swoosh. Chapter 84. Blood Shield Technique? An old man landed beside Ningyu with a slight frown. It's actually the Blood Shield Technique. Looks like it's the Corpse Sex Protector. Another Origin Core Realm Cultivator. Ningyu's pupils shrank when he saw the old man. He could feel a powerful aura from the old man that wasn't any weaker than the left protector's. You're not afraid of me? The old man stared at Ningyu and released his aura to suppress Ningyu. Ningyu used all his strength to resist the old man's aura. I'm not afraid of you because you're a friend and not an enemy. The reason why Ningyu was so sure was because he didn't feel any killing intent from the old man. Adding on the fact that the left protector immediately fled after the old man appeared, Ningyu judged that the old man was a friend and not an enemy. Not bad. No wonder Jean urged me to come and save you. With a faint smile, the old man withdrew his aura and said, Let's go. Don't let Jean wait too long. Otherwise, she'll blame me. With that, the old man flicked his wrist and a gust of wind swept Ningyu into the Pill Dragon Valley. Old Mo, do you think Uncle Yang Po can save Ningyu? In front of the Medicine King Palace, Lu Wei bit her lips with a face full of worry. At this moment, there were only a few people left in front of the Medicine King Palace. The experts of the Zhang clan and Corpse sect, as well as some young cultivators, had all left. Due to the heavy casualties among the students of Danwu College, Guanzhong left with the remaining students of Danwu College after Yang Po appeared. As for Xiao Yunlan and Wu Yong, they didn't leave. They chose to wait for Ningyu. Old Mo sighed and slowly said, Miss, with Yang Po taking action, I believe Ningyu will be fine. Actually, Elder Hiroshi was worried as well. After all, when Yang Po appeared, 3 minutes had already passed since Ningyu had escaped. To a Yuan Dan stage expert, 3 minutes was more than enough time to kill Ningyu. Ningyu will definitely be fine. Xiao Yunlan clenched her fist and said with certainty. Whoosh! Suddenly, a beam of cold light approached from afar and descended in an instant. Ningyu? Seeing the familiar figure that suddenly descended, Xiao Yunlan and Lu Wei revealed expressions of joy. They both took a step forward, one on the left and one on the right, sizing up Ningyu, and asked in unison, Are you all right? I'm fine. Pucci. Surrounded by the two women, Ningyu immediately felt a little awkward. He scratched his head and was just about to speak when he felt a sweetness in his throat and spat out a mouthful of blood. Ningyu, what's wrong? You're still saying you're fine, you're already so heavily injured. Ningyu's reaction caused Lu Wei and Xiao Yunlan's expressions to change greatly as they hurriedly said, I'm fine, just a little pain in my chest. Wiping the blood from the corner of his mouth, Ningyu slightly distanced himself from the two women and said, "It's no big deal." Actually, the biggest injury on Ningyu's body was not the pain in his chest, but the damage to his soul. In order to block the Golden Corpse King's powerful attack, he gathered all the soul force in his body above his head, forming a protective barrier. Although the protective barrier formed by the peak third-grade soul force was strong, it was still shattered by the Golden Corpse King, causing his soul force to suffer serious injuries. "I've helped you get this heaven-rank flying sword back, now it's returned to its owner." Casually throwing the soul-severing sword to Ningyu, Yang Pa said lightly. Receiving the soul-severing sword, Ningyu hurriedly said, "Thank you, Senior." The soul-severing sword was taken away by the Golden Corpse King. Originally, Ningyu was prepared to not be able to get it back, but now that Yang Pa got it back, he would definitely be very grateful. For Ningyu, losing the soul-severing sword would at least reduce his strength by 50%. "Let's go back to Tianxian City first. This is not the place to talk." Waving his hand, Yang Pa said, "If there's anything, let's go back to Tianxian City first." Because Ningyu hid it very well, even Yang Po of the Primal Core Realm did not notice that Ningyu's soul force had suffered a serious injury. And Yang Po was worried that the experts of the Corpse Insect would come back, so he proposed to return to Tianxian City. After returning to Tianxian City, Ningyu did not return to Snow Domain Pavilion with Lu Wei and the others, nor did he go to Drunken Cloud Inn with Xiao Yunlan. Ningyu knew that his soul force had suffered a serious injury, and if it was not treated as soon as possible, his soul force was likely to stagnate in the future. Therefore, he immediately returned home. Inside the room, Ningyu shook his wrist and the crystal jade pill appeared in his hand. The crystal jade pill was an elixir that he found in the Medicine King's palace, and it was an elixir that specialized in repairing soul injuries. Taking a deep breath, Ningyu swallowed the crystal jade pill. Hiss! As soon as the crystal jade pill entered his mouth, Ningyu suddenly felt a cold aura, causing him to suck in a breath of cold air. Clenching his teeth, Ningyu tried to control the medicinal power of the crystal jade pill to slowly flow to the side of his damaged soul force. Buzz buzz! As soon as the medicinal power came into contact with the damaged soul force, a buzzing sound burst out. Immediately, Ningyu's face lit up with joy, because he saw that his damaged soul force was healing at a speed visible to the naked eye. As expected of a 7th-grade elixir, the effect is actually so good. Ningyu was very happy. According to his speculation, his soul force would be completely repaired in 2 days at most. At that time, it was very likely that his soul force would break through the limit of the 3rd grade and reach the 4th grade. At the same time, while Ningyu was trying his best to repair his soul force, in Snow Pavilion of Tianxian City, "Uncle Yang Po, my mother's condition has really deteriorated that badly?" Lu Wei's face was a little worried as she asked. Shaking his head, Yang Po's face turned solemn as he said, "The situation is not optimistic. Now the pavilion master has already started to refine the pill of good fortune. Within a month, if the refinement is not successful, the consequences will be unimaginable. Tomorrow, follow me back to the capital." Yang Pa continued, "After being delayed in Tianxian City for so long, it's time to go back. Uncle Yang Po, Ningyu promised me that his master." Lu Wei hurriedly said. Before her voice died away, Yang Pa said in a deep voice, "I know that his alchemy talent is first class, but the pavilion master has already started to refine the pill of good fortune. Even if his master is an 8th-grade alchemist, he can't help much. Working together to refine the pill of good fortune is a huge project. If there is a problem in any of the steps, it will all be for naught. Even if his master is an 8th-grade alchemist, it is impossible for the pavilion master to add him in at the last minute." Yang Po's tone was unquestionable as he said, "This matter is settled. Tomorrow you will return to the capital with me." Inside a cave in the magical Beast Mountain range, an old man's face was pale and filled with anger. If Ning Yu was here, he would definitely recognize that this old man was none other than the left protector of the corpse sect. I didn't expect it to be the emperor of the Heaven-Devouring Dog clan, the purple-gold Heaven-Devouring Dog. Clenching his fists, the left protector's face was filled with viciousness. Just you wait. Once I recover from my injuries, I will definitely take your dog lives. This time, the Dark Emperor and Ning Yu had caused him to lose his void core. It would take at least a year for him to recover to his peak. Moreover, he would need a lot of medicinal herbs and pills. Therefore, during this 1 year, Ning Yu didn't have to worry about the threat from the left protector. Chapter 85. 2 days passed by quietly. Ning family, Ning Yu's room. Slowly exhaling a mouthful of turbid air, Ning Yu opened his eyes, and a look of joy appeared on his face. It's really a blessing in disguise this time. Not only did my soul recover completely, but my soul force has also reached the 4th grade. With a thought, a wisp of soul power appeared. Looking at the soul power on his fingertips, Ning Yu nodded in satisfaction. Now that my soul power has reached the 4th grade, I can practice the 3rd move of the Netherworld Samsara Palm, Ghostly Fiend. Forming a seal with both hands, Ning Yu's soul power surged out and he started practicing the 3rd move of the Netherworld Samsara Palm, Ghostly Fiend. The 1st move of the Netherworld Samsara Palm, Absolute Dust, and the 2nd move, Lonely Name, had increased Ning Yu's battle power by more than a level. With the first 2 moves of the Netherworld Samsara Palm, it was not difficult for Ning Yu to challenge those of a higher level. The 3rd move, Ghostly Fiend, was much stronger than the first 2 moves. With a flick of his wrist, his soul power wrapped around his palm. In the next moment, Ning Yu quickly formed a seal and pushed his palm out. Swoosh! A palm print that was almost solid instantly shot out at an extremely fast speed. Gotcha! A crisp sound could be heard as a jade bottle was smashed. Then, the solid palm print dissipated into the surroundings. Looking at the broken jade bottle, Ning Yu mumbled, "Looks like this palm of Ghostly Fiend has an extremely unique feature." There was no ripple after it was unleashed. If it was not a martial artist with a similarly strong soul power, it would be difficult to discover its existence. Through the palm just now, Ning Yu judged that Ghostly Fiend did not have any soul power ripple, and it was extremely fast. If Ghostly Fiend and Lonely Name were to unleash it at the same time, others would definitely think that Lonely Name was a huge threat. The power of Ghostly Fiend's palm is comparable to my innate demon sword wave. In the past, Ning Yu's strongest move was to use the Absolute Soul Sword to execute the 2nd form of the Heavenly Supreme 9 Purities sword art, the Sky Fiend Sword Wave. Now that Yu Sha had successfully cultivated it, he had 2 powerful trump cards. After successfully cultivating the Netherworld Samsara Palm's 3rd palm, Nether Fiend, Ning Yu flicked his wrist and the soul-breaking sword appeared in his hand. Ning Yu recalled the 3rd form of the Supreme 9 Purities sword technique in his mind. Immediately, the Yuan Qi in the cyclone surged out and gathered in the soul-breaking sword. With a thrust of his sword, Ning Yu began to practice the 3rd style, Teisho Kenpo. As time went on, Ning Yu's expression became more and more solemn, and he became more and more alarmed. Teisho Kenpo was extremely demanding on one's Yuan Qi. If one's Yuan Qi hadn't reached the Xiantian Great Circle, it would be impossible to successfully cultivate this style. Right now, Ning Yu's cultivation was at the peak of the Hotian realm. Although the Yuan Qi in the 2 cyclones had reached the Xiantian late stage, it was still a distance away from the Xiantian Great Circle. Ning Yu knew that unless he advanced to the Xiantian realm, he would not be able to successfully cultivate Teisho Kenpo. Looks like I have to advance to the Xiantian realm as soon as possible. Taking a deep breath, Ning Yu moved his soul power and quietly entered the Sumeru storage ring. In the 2 days after returning from Elixir Dragon Valley, He had been busy recovering his soul power. He had only checked on the Dark Emperor on his way back. At that time, the Dark Emperor was lying in the storage ring, covered in a layer of dark flames. The temperature was extremely high. With Ning Yu's damaged soul power, he didn't dare to go near it. Now that his soul power had not only completely recovered, it had also advanced to the 4th grade. Therefore, he immediately entered the storage ring to check on the Dark Emperor's condition. What the F***ck? As soon as his soul power entered the storage ring, Ning Yu cursed. This was because he discovered that all the medicinal ingredients in the storage ring had disappeared without a trace. In the distance, the Dark Emperor stretched out his 4 claws and stuck out his tongue. On his tongue, he could vaguely see the leaves of a camel hump flower. Dark Emperor! Originally, Ning Yu wanted to show some concern for him. Now that he saw this situation, he was speechless and said, "Wake up, what the hell is going on?" Hearing Ning Yu's words, the Dark Emperor's eyelids rolled, then closed again. Seeing the Dark Emperor like this, Ning Yu was completely speechless. If not for the Dark Emperor still breathing, he would have thought that the Dark Emperor had died. No matter what, the Dark Emperor had saved his life. Not to mention eating all the herbs in the storage ring. Even if he destroyed the storage ring, he wouldn't say anything. The Emperor of the Heaven-Swallowing Dog Clan is indeed overbearing. In the beginning, Ning Yu was still worried about the Dark Emperor's safety. After all, it had swallowed a void core. The enormous energy contained in a void core was enough to severely injure an ordinary martial artist at the peak of the true martial realm. Now that he saw the Dark Emperor, Ning Yu was no longer worried. No matter how he looked at it, the Dark Emperor didn't seem to be in trouble. If it really was in trouble, it definitely wouldn't have swallowed all the herbs in the storage ring. Forget it, I'll come see him in a few days. Shrugging, Ning Yu was about to leave the storage ring. Swish! However, before his soul power left the storage ring, he saw the Dark Emperor's mouth open slightly, and a golden core slowly flew out from its mouth. At this moment, the Dark Emperor's voice sounded in Ning Yu's ears. "This is that old bastard's golden core. I've already absorbed most of the energy in it. Your body should be able to withstand the remaining energy." Yuan Qi appeared in his palm, and he caught the golden core steadily. Probing with his soul power, Ning Yu discovered that there was less than a third of the energy left in the golden core. Even though there was only a third of the energy left, for Ning Yu, it was enough for him to advance to the Xiantian realm. Ning Yu didn't stand on ceremony with the Dark Emperor. Instead, he took the golden core out from the storage ring. Looking at the golden core in front of him, Ning Yu placed his palm on it and slowly circulated the spirit transformation technique to absorb it. The energy in the golden core was extremely large, and after being processed by the Dark Emperor, it was extremely pure without any impurities. Very quickly, it was absorbed and refined by him. Buzz buzz. As the endless energy entered the 2 cyclones, Ning Yu felt that the Yuan Qi in the 2 cyclones had reached a critical point, and he had the urge to break through. Suppress it. Ning Yu knew that if he wanted to break through to the Xiantian realm now, it would be very easy. However, he didn't do that. He wanted to suppress the cyclones and work hard for the cyclones to split. If he could split the cyclones into 4 in the post-celestial realm, then when he advanced to the early stage of the Xiantian realm, his battle prowess would be 4 times stronger than an ordinary early-stage Xiantian realm martial artist. Coupled with the Netherworld Samsara Palm and the Supreme 9 Purities Sword Art, his overall strength would become extremely terrifying. Under the true martial realm, he would be invincible. Crack! Suddenly, a crisp sound exploded in his sea of consciousness. Immediately after, Ning Yu gritted his teeth and circulated the spirit transformation technique crazily. All the energy in the golden core entered the 2 cyclones. This was because Ning Yu knew that he could no longer suppress it and was about to advance to the Xiantian realm. And he wanted to make use of this last moment to break through the cyclone's division. Chi-chi. All the energy in the golden core entered the cyclones. In an instant, a heart-wrenching pain spread out, causing Ning Yu's forehead to be covered in sweat. Bang! 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 3 muffled sounds rang out in succession. Then, Ning Yu's face lit up with joy and he let out a long breath. The first muffled sound was produced when he advanced to the Xiantian realm. The second and third muffled sound were produced by the Cyclone's division. At this moment, Ning Yu advanced to the Xiantian realm. Chapter 86. Phew! Feeling the changes in the cyclone, Ning Yu let out a long sigh. His eyes were filled with unconcealable joy. In his previous life, he was only able to split the cyclone into 2 when he was in the early stage of the Xiantian realm. In this life, he had already split the cyclone into 4. Moreover, according to the changes in the cyclone, Ning Yu speculated that before he advanced to the true martial realm, his cyclone would most likely split again. Since ancient times, the maximum number of cyclones that a Xiantian realm martial artist could split was 16. If he could reach 16, it would be of great help to his future cultivation. The energy in the illusory golden core is indeed huge. It has already filled all 4 of my cyclones. Ning Yu nodded in satisfaction after looking at the yuan qi in the cyclone. The amount of yuan qi in his body was equivalent to that of 4 Xiantian realm martial artists. Gulp. At this moment, a sound came from his stomach. Ning Yu got up and walked out of the room. During the 2 days of cultivation, he had not eaten anything. Now, he finally felt a little hungry. Rumble. However, as soon as Ning Yu left the room, an earth-shattering roar resounded in the front yard. Then, a few figures landed in front of his door at the same time. Looking at the sudden appearance of several figures, Ning Yu's face instantly became extremely cold. He said in a deep voice, "Who are you?" From the 8 figures in the courtyard, Ning Yu could feel an aura that was not weaker than the barbarian corpse king's. This indicated that they were Xiantian realm martial artists. Moreover, when he released his soul power, Ning Yu felt an extremely powerful aura in the front yard. That aura had obviously surpassed the limit of the Xiantian realm and reached the true martial realm. It seems that the one fighting with the true martial realm martial artist in the front yard should be my grandfather. In an instant, Ning Yu understood the situation in front of him. Could it be the corpse sect? Thinking of this, Ning Yu's heart sank to the bottom. This time, there were a total of 9 experts besieging the Ning family. 8 were Xiantian realm martial artists, and 1 was a true martial realm martial artist. In Tianxian City, there was no force that could mobilize so many experts at once. Jie, it doesn't matter who we are. What matters is that this day next year will be the anniversary of your death. A tall warrior at the front grinned and said sinisterly, TSK, I didn't expect you to have advanced to the innate realm. No wonder someone was willing to spend 500,000 upper-grade origin crystals to buy your life. Someone bought my life? Hearing that, Ning Yu was startled, and then he said, You're from the assassination pavilion. A week ago, Ning Yu had been on his way back from the Drunken Cloud restaurant when he had been besieged by 2 Peak Hotian warriors. Back then, Ning Yu suspected that they were martial artists from the assassination pavilion. Looking at it now, his suspicions back then were not wrong. However, Ning Yu was a little puzzled. Just who was it that was willing to spend 500,000 high-grade essence crystals to buy his head? The corpse insect could be ruled out since they disdained hiring assassins. However, the Zhang clan had this possibility. After all, they had a lot of financial resources and could afford this price. Thinking of this, Ning Yu's eyes flashed coldly. He stomped on the ground and a shadow flashed, appearing like a ghost in front of the Peak Innate Realm warrior. Bang! Vigorous origin power surged from Ning Yu's fist as he threw a punch at him. Looking at Ning Yu, who was closing in on him, the tall warrior's lips curled up. Immediately after, His body flashed strangely, and a yuan qi palm containing the same fierce wind suddenly pushed out. But wherever the wind passed, even the air exploded, giving off a low muffled sound. Not good! However, just as the fists were about to collide, the tall warrior's pupils shrank slightly. This was because he felt a fluctuation of yuan qi from Ning Yu's fist that was not weaker than his. Bang! After the blow, the tall warrior immediately retreated, a cold light flashing in his eyes. Taking a deep breath, the tall warrior clenched his fists tightly. A look of shock appeared on his face as he said gloomily, "You are actually so strong." Through the hurried blow just now, the tall warrior judged that Ning Yu's strength was not weaker than his. Humph! Since you dare to come to the Ning family, you should be prepared to be killed. With a cold snort, Ning Yu shook his wrist and the soul-breaking sword appeared in his hand. Innate Demon Sword Wave. With a wave of the soul-breaking sword, a sword wave suddenly appeared in the air. In the end, it turned into 8 sword rays and attacked the 8 peak innate realm warriors. You want to fight against 8 alone? You are too naive. The tall warrior's face turned cold as he said coldly, "Attack together." As soon as he said that, the other 7 peak innate realm warriors all took out their flying swords and slashed out. Huge sword rays danced in the air and met the innate demon sword wave. Chi 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 chi. Immediately, 8 crisp sounds rang out in the courtyard. Then, Ning Yu's expression changed and he immediately retreated. Boom! However, as he was retreating, the 8 Xiantian full-circle martial artists slashed out with their swords once again. Immediately, 8 overbearing red swords flashed towards him at an astonishing speed. Innate Demon Sword Wave. At this critical moment, Ning Yu injected the yuan qi in his cyclone into the soul-breaking sword. With a swing of the sword, a huge yuan qi sword ray flew out. Buzz! The yuan qi sword light and the 8 red sword lights collided fiercely. In the next moment, a terrifying energy wave spread out in all directions with the space where the collision occurred as the center. Swoosh! Swoosh! The figures of the 2 Xiantian consummate stage experts flashed after this strike. They then appeared in front of Ning Yu in a strange manner. Then, they punched out 2 fists that contained a boundless wave of yuan qi, and smashed towards Ning Yu's head. These 2 fists were extremely overbearing. If Ning Yu's head was hit, it was likely that his brain would explode. Netherworld Samsara Palm, Gu Ming. In the blink of an eye, Ning Yu's soul surged and he struck out 2 palms. Lad, to be able to block one of our attacks while fighting against 8 alone, you can be proud even if you die. As if seeing Ning Yu's miserable state, one of the peak innate realm warriors laughed sinisterly. With your strength, you should be in the top 100 of the Xia Kingdom's innate realm ranking. Hee, you still want to resist at this moment? Save your strength for the underworld. What? The other warrior smiled and was about to speak, but his expression changed drastically. This was because Ning Yu's palm print had evaded their fists and landed on their chests. Suddenly, a sharp pain came from the depths of their souls, causing them to let out a heart-wrenching scream. Bang! On the other side, Ning Yu's body was hit by 2 fists, and he was sent flying for a long distance before the force dissipated. Fortunately, he had gathered the yuan qi in the cyclone to the surface of his skin at the critical moment. Otherwise, the full force of the 2 peak innate realm warriors would have been enough to make him suffer. Wiping the blood from the corner of his mouth, Ning Yu stood up from the ground and said coldly, "I said, since you dared to come to the Ning family, you should be prepared to be killed." Seeing his 2 companions in pain, the tall warrior's face darkened. He looked at Ning Yu and said in a cold voice. Chapter 87. When the tall martial artist's voice fell, Ning Yu's face instantly fell to the freezing point. A monstrous murderous aura was emitted from his body. Swoosh! Feeling the terrifying murderous aura emitted from Ning Yu, the taller warrior's expression changed, and he could not help but take a few steps back. as a bronze plate assassin of the assassination pavilion, there were at least 800 warriors who had died in his hands. Even so, he did not have such a huge murderous aura. Moreover, the most important thing was that Ningyu was not even 20 years old. For such a young warrior to emit such a terrifying murderous aura, just what had he experienced? At this moment, the taller warrior's heart was slightly shaken. He wanted to escape from this place. However, thinking of the 500,000 upper-grade yuan crystals as a reward, the taller warrior took a step forward and said coldly, "Tong Lu and Tong Qi, kill the rest of the warriors from the Ning family. As for this place, leave it to us." "Yes." Hearing this, the two Xiantian peak martial artists nodded, then rose from the ground and flew out of the courtyard. Heaven Fiend's sword wave. Seeing this, Ning Yu's expression changed. The yuan qi in the cyclone frantically surged into the soul-severing sword. With a slash, an incomparably violent sword ray quickly shot out. This sword ray was extremely powerful, causing everyone's expression to change, including the taller warriors. Especially Tong Lu and Tong Qi, their pupils shrank. Without thinking, they immediately placed the flying swords in front of their chests. Kacha! Kacha! In an instant, the sword ray attacked Tong Lu and Tong Qi. The powerful sword ray directly split their flying swords into two. The sudden change caused Tong Lu and Tong Qi to be dumbfounded. They never thought that the sword ray from Ning Yu's attack would be so powerful that it actually broke their top-grade profound rank flying sword. Swoosh! However, in the instant that they were slightly stunned, Ning Yu rose from the ground and formed a seal with both his hands. Fourth-grade soul power gathered on his wrist. Netherworld Samsara Palm, Netherworld Fiend. With a low roar, two palm prints flew through the air. Their speed was extremely fast, and in the blink of an eye, they arrived in front of Tong Lu and Tong Qi. Under their horrified gazes, their bodies were ruthlessly blasted. Qi! Qi! After the palm print hit their bodies, a strand of soul power quietly entered their bodies through their skin, and then swam into their brains. Serene Fiend was originally a soul attack palm technique. Combined with Ning Yu's formidable fourth-grade soul force, it instantly suppressed Tong Lu and Tong Qi to the point where they couldn't breathe. Poochie! Poochie! Suddenly, Tong Lu and Tong Qi spat out a mouthful of blood, and their eyes dimmed. From the time Ning Yu's first sword light slashed out to the time when Tong Lu and Tong Qi were struck by the underworld fiend palm, only a second had passed. "Damn it! Ning Yu, I want you dead!" Looking at Tong Lu and Tong Qi lying on the ground, the tall warrior shouted. This time, their assassination pavilion had sent out 9 powerful warriors. Tong 1 was responsible for blocking the Ning family's ancestor, and the other 8 were responsible for killing Ning Yu. Originally, they thought that it would be an easy matter. Who would have thought that in just a few minutes, 4 Xiantian full-circle warriors had already lost their battle strength. As for Ning Yu, he stood in the same place as if nothing had happened. Tong 8 and Tong 9, due to their carelessness, were seriously injured by Ning Yu's desperate attack. Tong Lu and Tong Qi, on the other hand, were struck by Ning Yu's even more bizarre palm, and now they had also lost their battle strength. With such a huge loss, the tall warrior's heart was bleeding. In an instant, his figure flashed and rushed towards Ning Yu. Cough cough. After coughing twice, Ning Yu's expression was extremely gloomy. Because he used all his strength to execute the Netherworld Samsara Palm's third palm, Serene Fiend, it caused him to be somewhat weak. In a short period of time, it was impossible for him to execute the Serene Fiend palm again. Moreover, the Yuan Qi in 2 of his cyclones had already been exhausted, leaving only the Yuan Qi in the other 2 cyclones that could be used. Compared to his peak state, Ning Yu's strength had decreased by at least 50%. If Ning Yu was given even an hour's time, he would be able to recover his soul force to its peak. However, the current situation did not allow him to recover his soul force. Heaven Fiend's sword wave. Gritting his teeth, he waved the soul-severing sword in his hand. The yuan qi in the third cyclone was injected into the soul-severing sword, instantly slashing out a sword beam. Xiao. This time, the tall warrior was prepared. His body was extremely fast, and he dodged left and right in the air. He did not choose to meet Ning Yu's sword beam head-on. The tall warrior was not stupid. He was very clear that Ning Yu's trump card was the powerful sword beam. As long as he dodged the sword beam, it would be very easy to kill Ning Yu. Damn it! Missing his attack, Ning Yu cursed and immediately retreated. If not for the fact that he had overused his soul force and was somewhat weak, Ning Yu would have been able to determine the trajectory of the tall warrior's movements with his powerful soul force. As for now, his soul force was too weak to determine the trajectory of the tall warrior's movements. Ning Yu, what other trump cards do you have? Show them all. Seeing Ning Yu retreat, the tall warrior's lips curled into a sinister smile. He then punched out again. Breaking Wind Fist. An ear-piercing sound of breaking wind rang out. The tall warrior's fist was extremely fast, and it turned into many phantom fist beams, sealing off all of Ning Yu's escape routes. Sensing the fist enveloping him, Ning Yu's expression completely darkened. Given the current situation, he clearly had no way out. Clenching his hands into fists, the yuan qi in the fourth cyclone frantically surged and gathered in his right hand. However, just as Ning Yu was about to punch out with his right fist, his expression changed and his fist abruptly stopped in the air. From outside the courtyard, a palm containing enormous energy suddenly shot out. The palm was extremely fast, instantly dispersing the tall warrior's fist beam. Bang! In the next moment, the crisp sound of fists colliding rang out in the sky. When the two fists collided, the enormous force from the collision caused the tall warrior to fall from the air. The backs of his feet were forcefully sunk into the ground. Go! After the strike, a strange figure once again appeared, and his right hand violently struck the tall warrior's chest. After suffering another heavy blow, the tall martial artist, who was already slightly pale, became even paler. A mouthful of crimson blood spurted out, and his body was like a sandbag as he was sent flying back several feet. This sudden change made the expressions of the other three Xiantian consummate-level warriors change drastically. They moved their feet and moved closer to Yi Shiwen. "Who are you?" Clutching his chest, the tall warrior struggled to stand up. His expression was gloomy as he stared at the figure that had landed in front of Ning Yu. He shouted in a deep voice, "Why did you help Ning Yu?" The tall warrior's expression was very ugly, and he felt a little uneasy. Before coming, they had already investigated the Ning family and knew that apart from Ning He, there were no other true martial realm experts in the Ning family. At this moment, he felt a powerful aura from the figure in front of him that was not weaker than Tong Yi's. Chapter 88. Father! Looking at the familiar figure that suddenly appeared beside him, Ning Yu's eyes widened, his face filled with disbelief. "Your strength?" Ning Yu knew that Ning Hai's cultivation was only at the late stage of the Xiantian realm, when they were fighting for the quota in the frozen cave. How did his cultivation become so strong after a dozen days? Middle stage of the true martial realm. Ning Hai's aura had already reached the middle stage of the true martial realm. Now is not the time to talk. Let me finish off these small fries first. Waving his hand, Ning Hai's body disappeared in a strange manner. Not good. Seeing Ning Hai disappear, the tall warrior's expression changed. Without thinking, he immediately retreated. Bang! However, just as he moved his feet, Ning Hai appeared beside him and threw a punch. It landed squarely on his chest. The strong rebounding force from his chest sent the tall martial artist flying backward again. Xiao. Having succeeded in his attack, Ning Hai did not stop. With a wave of his sleeve, a cold scarlet ray of light shot out. The scarlet ray of light was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, it appeared in front of the tall warrior. Then, under his horrified expression, with a xiao, it entered his body. Soul power! Seeing the scarlet ray of light, Ning Yu's pupils shrank. He was extremely shocked, because, with his sharp senses, he discovered that the scarlet ray of light was soul power. Moreover, the strength had reached the 6th grade. Could it be that Ning Hai was an alchemist? Or was Ning Hai a warrior who specialized in soul power? Ah! Just as Ning Yu was in a daze, a scream rang out, following which, the tall cultivator's eyes turned dim, as if his soul had been hollowed out. Chi chi chi! After killing the taller warrior, Ning Hai attacked once again. 3 beams of red light shot out from his sleeves, and killed the remaining 3 Xiantian consummate stage warriors. Wait here, I will go help your grandfather. After killing the warrior from the assassination pavilion, Ning Hai took a step forward and rushed towards the front yard. Looking at Ning Hai's disappearing figure, the shock in Ning Yu's eyes did not fade for a long time. Regardless of how Ning Hai became so powerful, Ning Yu knew that he was safe with Ning Hai's help. However, Ning Yu did not stop there. His figure flashed and he rushed to the front yard. Whoosh! However, Ning Yu's speed was clearly slower by half a beat. By the time he rushed to the front yard, Ning Hai had already killed Tong Yi from the assassination pavilion. As for his grandfather, Ning He, his aura was a little weak. After all, Ning He was only half a step into the true martial realm, while Tong, one of the assassination pavilion, was an early-stage true martial realm martial artist. The strength of both sides were not on the same order of magnitude. It was not easy for Ning He to resist for a period of time until Ning Hai came back. Ning Tang, seal the news. In the courtyard, Ning Hai said in a deep voice, I will be leaving Tianxian City soon. Before that, I must unite the 4 great clans of Tianxian City. Patriarch, to make a move against the 3 great clans of Tianxian City at this time, I'm afraid it's a little. Hearing this, Ning Tang revealed a difficult expression. Waving his hand, Ning Hai said, regarding the sneak attack by the assassination pavilion, I have already received accurate information. It was jointly funded by the other 3 clans of Tianxian City. They spent 500,000 high-grade origin crystals to eradicate the Ning family. What? Ning Tang originally had a bad temper. Hearing Ning Hai's words, he immediately became furious and said, Patriarch, I will bring people to kill them now. This matter is not urgent. First, deal with the people from the assassination pavilion. Make sure not to leave any traces. Shaking his head, Ning Hai said, in addition, spread the news in Tianxian City that the Ning family has suffered heavy losses. Ning Tang's eyes lit up and said, Patriarch, I understand what you mean. Saying this, Ning Tang turned and left. Before the cold ice cave test, you stay at home. Glancing at Ning Yu, Ning Hai tiptoed and flew into the distance. After Ning Hai left, Ning Yu frowned slightly, a little puzzled. 500,000 high-grade origin crystals. Even if the other 3 clans of Tianxian City joined forces, it would be difficult for them to fork it out. Moreover, from what the tall martial artist said, they only wanted to kill him. In Ning Yu's opinion, it was somewhat unrealistic for the 3 clans to jointly fund 500,000 high-grade origin crystals to kill him. Unless there was someone behind them. Forget it. Since father wants me to stay at home during this period of time, I will stay at home. After thinking about it, Ning Yu turned around and returned to his room. Anyway, there were still about 2 weeks before the cold ice cave test. He could use this period of time to properly cultivate and sort out the things that happened during this period of time. At the same time, Tianxian City, Lin family. In a hidden room, a few martial artists were discussing something. Lin Zhen, I wonder if we can kill Ning Yu this time. Zhao Lai paced back and forth, a little worried. Haha, you don't need to worry at all. With a faint smile, Lin Zhen said, the assassination pavilion sent out a team of bronze plate assassins. Even if Ning Yu has 8 heads, he will definitely be killed by now. Although that's the case, I'm afraid that the Snow Domain Pavilion's experts will make a move to help Ningyu. Wang Qinian was also somewhat worried and said, back then, we should have spent 1 million high-grade origin crystals to hire a silver plate assassin. Although the assassination pavilion sent out a team of bronze plate assassins, they more or less knew a little about what happened in Elixir Dragon Valley a few days ago. Ningyu's powerful combat power made them apprehensive. When he was at the peak of the post-liminary realm, he could already rival a Xiantian great perfection martial artist. If he advanced to the Xiantian realm, the consequences would be unthinkable. Fortunately, 2 days ago, a mysterious expert found them and provided them with 1 million high-grade origin crystals. There was only one goal, and that was for them to use the 1 million high-grade origin crystals to hire an assassin from the assassination pavilion. They must kill Ningyu. Don't worry. 8 innate realm peak and 1 true martial realm initial stage martial artist. Even if Ningyu advances to the innate realm, he will not be able to escape death. With a shake of his wrist, a storage bag appeared in his hand. Linjin said, there are still 500,000 high-grade origin crystals left. We can use these origin crystals to buy magic treasures and elixirs to strengthen our family's strength in a short period of time. Then, we can join forces and eradicate the Ning family from Tianxian City. Linjin, is the Ning family really so terrifying? With the current strength of our 3 families, can't we eradicate the Ning family? Zhao Lai frowned slightly and asked doubtfully. Taking a deep breath, Lin Jin's expression became rather grave. He said in a deep voice, a week ago, our 3 families could easily eradicate the Ning family if we joined forces. But recently, Ning Hai has suddenly become somewhat different from before. I'm worried that the Ning Hai from 18 years ago has returned. Swoosh. Swoosh. Hearing Lin Jin's words, the expressions of Wang Qinian and Zhao Lai changed greatly. Fear appeared on their faces. 18 years ago, they would never forget the earth-shattering battle in the depths of the magical Beast Mountain Range. Back then, Ning Hai was like a god of war, turning the magical Beast Mountain Range upside down with his own strength. Chapter 89. The long-lasting craze in Elixir Dragon Valley finally dissipated with the explosion in the valley. Many warriors who came to participate in the experiential training left Tianxian City. The incident in Elixir Dragon Valley was forcefully suppressed by a mysterious faction. It was only spread within a small circle and not widely. Ningyu was happy to see such a situation. He did not wish for his performance in Elixir Dragon Valley to be known by many. As the saying went, the tallest tree in Lin Feng's hands must be destroyed. The incident with the assassination pavilion came to an end. It was sealed off by Ning Hai and did not stir up any ripples in Tianxian City. 3 days had passed since the assassination pavilion's sneak attack. In these 3 days, Ning Yu's soul power had recovered to its peak. The Yuan Qi in the 4 cyclones had also been replenished. Phew! Letting out a long breath, Ningyu felt the abundant Yuan Qi in the cyclones. With a flick of his wrist, the soul-breaking sword appeared in his hand. Teisho Kenpo. With a low bellow, the Yuan Qi in the cyclones surged out frantically and entered the soul-breaking sword through Ningyu's wrist. Wung wung. The soul-breaking sword pointed at the void and the sword vibrated at an extremely high frequency. In the end, it even resonated with the air and let out a buzzing sound. After the sword vibrated to a certain extent, Ningyu stabbed out with the soul-breaking sword. Chi-chi. Everywhere the soul-breaking sword passed, the air was compressed and dispersed. Bang. Suddenly, the soul-breaking sword disappeared. Following which, a deep sound rang out in the room. Bang, bang, bang. Following which, another 3 consecutive sounds rang out. Then, the soul-breaking sword suddenly appeared and was grabbed by Ningyu. Teisho Kenpo is indeed very difficult to cultivate. Looking at the soul-breaking sword in his hand, Ningyu revealed a grave expression. After 3 days of cultivation, he had only cultivated Teisho Kenpo to the initial success realm. If he wanted to cultivate it to the greater success realm, he would need at least a week's time. However, the power of the Teisho Kenpo was not just for show. Although he had only cultivated it to the realm of initial success, its power had already far surpassed the innate fiend sword wave. I wonder how the Dark Emperor is doing now. Since he couldn't cultivate the Teisho Kenpo to the mastery stage in a short period of time, Ningyu might as well send his soul power into his storage ring. Where is the Dark Emperor? After his soul force entered the storage ring, Ningyu frowned, because he did not see the Dark Emperor. At this moment, the storage ring was completely empty. Ningyu was a little suspicious. Logically speaking, the Dark Emperor should be in the storage ring. Why wasn't he there now? Buzz. Suddenly, the void trembled and a crack appeared. Not long after the crack appeared, a huge black shadow emerged from it. Woof! After the black shadow appeared, it raised its head and barked at the sky. Then, it swung its tail and charged at Ningyu. Yusha! His 4th grade soul force surged. His wrist moved in a strange trajectory, and then he pushed his palm out. Smack! The huge palm and the black shadow's tail collided, and a dull thud was heard. F***ck, Ningyu, what kind of spell is that? After the attack, the black shadow cursed and bared its teeth at Ningyu. Why do I feel a shiver in my soul? Dark Emperor, have you recovered to your peak? Seeing the black shadow's true form, Ningyu's eyes lit up and he asked, also, why did you appear out of thin air? Have you recovered to the Yin-Yang realm? Above the origin core realm was the Yin-Yang realm, and Yin-Yang realm martial artists could use the power of space to fight against their enemies. In other words, those below the Yin-Yang realm were all ant. I will reach the Yin-Yang realm sooner or later. With a cold snort, the Dark Emperor said, our heaven-devouring hound clan can even swallow the sky, let alone an unstable space. Hearing the Dark Emperor's words, Ningyu was slightly stunned, and he asked in confusion, what is an unstable space? Shrinking his body, the Dark Emperor stood up straight with his front paws behind his back like a scholar, and said, generally speaking, the space within a spatial artifact can be called an unstable space because it is different from the space outside. Once it is impacted by a powerful force, it will completely disappear. Are there other unstable spaces? Ningyu frowned. Of course there are other unstable spaces, but you can't come into contact with them at your current stage. After taking 2 steps, the Dark Emperor said, when your cultivation reaches the Yin-Yang realm, you will naturally come into contact with some unstable spaces, and you might even be able to open up your own unstable space. Let's talk outside. With a flash, the Dark Emperor flew out of the storage ring. Dark Emperor, I have already imprinted a soul imprint on this storage ring. How can you come and go as you please? Looking at the Dark Emperor in the room, Ningyu's mouth was slightly open, and his face was filled with disbelief. Logically speaking, after imprinting a soul imprint, the storage ring was already his exclusive magic treasure. If others didn't destroy the soul imprint on it, they wouldn't be able to come and go as they pleased. However, the Dark Emperor's actions caused Ningyu to be greatly shocked and confused. Exerting a little force on his hind legs, he jumped onto the bench and said proudly, "What's wrong with that? I've said it before, the space in the storage ring is unstable. Our heaven-devouring dog clan can enter and leave whenever we want." "No way, why haven't I heard of it?" Ningyu revealed a doubtful expression and said, "Could it be because you are a royal member of the heaven-devouring dog clan?" Hearing this, the Dark Emperor's expression turned cold, and he said in a deep voice, "Let's not talk about that for now. Do you want to do something big with me next?" Frowning slightly, for some reason, Ningyu had a feeling that the Dark Emperor didn't want to mention his background. Since that was the case, Ningyu no longer asked, and instead asked, "What do you want to do?" In Pill Dragon Valley, we were chased by the old fogies of the corpse sect. No matter what, we must take revenge. The Dark Emperor gnashed his teeth and said, "Let's go to the corpse sect. We must take revenge, but not now." Taking a deep breath, Ningyu said in a deep voice, "Although you have recovered to your peak state, your strength is only at the peak of the true martial realm. In front of the true experts of the corpse sect, we are not even ants. In my opinion, we should take our time to think about it." Ningyu wasn't stupid. Although he had cultivated the Teisho Kenpo to the initial success realm and his strength had increased a lot, going to the corpse sect was tantamount to a fool's dream. It was no different from courting death. Even a protector of the corpse sect was at the origin core realm, let alone some of the hidden elders and sect masters. "Ningyu, I'm not talking about going to the corpse sect." Rolling his eyes at Ningyu, the Dark Emperor said, "I also know that with our strength, we definitely can't fight the corpse sect head-on, but we can still go to the corpse sect's treasury." "You mean sneak into the corpse sect's treasury and steal the treasures?" Ningyu's eyes lit up. Although this idea sounded crazy, it was not completely impossible for Ningyu and the others. Chapter 90. Smart. The Dark Emperor waved its claw and looked at Ningyu with a frown. "Although you're only at the early Khanate realm, you have a storage ring. When the time comes, you can come with me to take all the treasures from the corpse sect's treasury. There's no time to lose. Let's go now." Ningyu grabbed the Dark Emperor and said, "There's no hurry. We don't even know where the headquarters of the corpse sect is. How are we going to get to the treasury? In my opinion, we should first investigate and think of a foolproof plan. It won't be too late to go then." The corpse sect was a peak force in the Sky Demon region. Although the corpse sect in the Great Xia Kingdom was only a branch, there were definitely Yin-Yang realm cultivators in it. Yin-Yang realm cultivators could already cultivate spatial techniques and were extremely powerful. Although the Dark Emperor had a unique perception of space, it was impossible for the corpse sect to not be on guard against such an important location like the treasure pavilion. If they were discovered by a Yin-Yang realm cultivator, the consequences would be unimaginable. After thinking about it, the Dark Emperor felt that Ningyu's words were reasonable. "How about this? I'll go find out where the headquarters of the corpse sect is. When I find it, I'll come back to find you." "Dark Emperor, don't act rashly," Ningyu said. "The corpse sect has many experts. Don't be stupid. If you get caught, I'll have to think of a way to save you." "Ha ha ha, it's not that easy to catch the great heaven-devouring dog clan." With a laugh, the Dark Emperor's eyes turned cold. Suddenly, a crack appeared in the space in front of him, and he entered it in a flash. As expected of the Emperor of the heaven-devouring dog clan, he can already control space at the peak of the true martial realm. Logically speaking, only those who had reached the Yin-Yang realm would be able to control space slightly and grasp the surface of space. The Dark Emperor was only at the peak of the true martial realm, but he was so proficient in space. It was no wonder that Ningyu was shocked. In his previous life, even with his talent, he could only control space when he was at the peak of the origin core realm. Compared to the Dark Emperor, he could only be considered mediocre. Teisho Kenpo. Just as the Dark Emperor left, Ningyu took out the broken soul sword and slowly injected his essence into it. He began to cultivate the third move of the Supreme Nine Pure Sword Art, Teisho Kenpo. Right now, he had only cultivated the Teisho Kenpo to the realm of initial success, and there were still more than 10 days before the Frozen Caves assessment. For Ningyu, 10 days was enough for him to cultivate Teisho Kenpo to the realm of mastery. 3 days later, Ningyu cultivated Teisho Kenpo to the peak of initial success. 5 days later, the Teisho Kenpo reached the mastery stage. 10 days later, Ningyu had cultivated Teisho Kenpo to the limit, reaching the peak of perfection. Explode. His eyes flashed, and the origin energy in a cyclone surged, pouring into the absolute soul sword. With a point of the sword, Ningyu let out a low roar, and the origin energy in the room immediately went berserk. Bang bang bang! Bang bang bang! Immediately after, a few muffled explosions of origin energy could be heard. A monstrous wave of origin energy flashed and instantly dissipated. The power of the third move of the Supreme Nine Pure Sword Art is already so strong. If I cultivate the sixth move, wouldn't I be able to fight against a true martial realm martial artist while in the Xiantian realm? Now that Ningyu had grasped the cultivation technique of the first 6 moves of the Supreme Nine Pure Sword Art, if he could completely cultivate them, his strength would skyrocket to an extremely terrifying level. But Ningyu knew that with the density of the origin energy in his cyclone, it was impossible for him to successfully cultivate the 4th move of the Supreme Nine Pure Sword Art. Even so, Ningyu was very satisfied. He kept the absolute soul sword and muttered, "With my strength, I should be able to rank in the top 100 of the Great Xia Kingdom's Xiantian Realm ranking." The Xiantian Realm ranking was published by the royal family of the Great Xia Kingdom, and it only recorded the top 10,000 Xiantian Realm martial artists. The Xiantian Realm ranking was updated once a month, and the royal family of the Great Xia Kingdom did not announce the ranking to the public. However, some people speculated that the royal family of the Great Xia Kingdom did not know the ranking of the Xiantian Realm ranking, and they were only responsible for publishing it. Every month, someone would send the Xiantian Realm ranking to the royal family, and they would then print it and distribute it to all the cities. Compared to the big cities of the Great Xia Kingdom, Tianxian City was just a small place, and there was not a single martial artist on the Xiantian Realm ranking. The reason why Ningyu judged that he could rank in the top 100 of the Xiantian Realm ranking was because a few years ago, a martial artist ranked 50th on the Xiantian Realm had defeated a martial artist at the complete Xiantian Realm when he was only at the Xiantian Realm. From this, Ningyu deduced that his strength could at least rank in the top 100 of the Xiantian Realm ranking. Spirit Transformation Art. With a thought, Ningyu recalled the mental cultivation method of the 3rd level of the Spirit Transformation Art in his mind, and started cultivating. He had already cultivated the Supreme Nine Purities sword skill to the 3rd form, Teisho Kenpo, and the Netherworld Samsara Palm to the 3rd form, Nether Fiend. It was basically impossible for him to cultivate these 2 martial skills to the 4th form in a short period of time. There were still 3 days before the Icy Cave assessment, and Ningyu naturally would not waste this time. With a thought, he started cultivating the Spirit Transformation Art. Now that his soul force had reached the 4th grade, he could already cultivate the 3rd level of the Spirit Transformation Art. If he could successfully cultivate the 3rd level of the Spirit Transformation Art, Ningyu was confident that he could reach the middle stage of the Xiantian Realm within a month. This was because the absorption speed of the 3rd level of the Spirit Transformation Art was very abnormal, so abnormal that a piece of high-grade yuan crystal would only need a moment to be completely absorbed. Tianxian City, Elixir Dragon Valley. After a period of time, there was finally another matter that became the focus of everyone's discussion. That was the Icy Cave assessment. Compared to the Icy Cave assessment competition, the Icy Cave assessment was much more important. This was because the Icy Cave assessment would be hosted by someone from Danwu College. As long as one passed the Icy Cave assessment, there would be a high chance of entering Danwu College. The previous few Icy Cave assessment spots were divided among the 4 big families of Tianxian City. This time, the Ning family alone took up 8 spots. As for the remaining 2 spots, the Wangs and the Zhao family each had 1. As for the Lin family that was about to become the overlord of Tianxian City, they did not get a single spot. At this time, in a restaurant in Tianxian City, a few martial artists were having a discussion. "Big brother, what kind of person do you think this Ningyu is? Why is he ranked 1000th on the innate realm battle roll? How could he squeeze you out of the top 1000? In the lobby, a 25-year-old martial artist was full of anger. In my opinion, there must be a problem with the innate realm battle roll. How could a martial artist from such a small place enter the top 1000 of the innate realm battle roll? Another martial artist was equally angry. Waving her hand, Chao Shuang said calmly, "The innate realm battle roll has its own reasons. It would not put a martial artist in the top 1000 for no reason. Big brother, since we are passing by Tianxian City this time, why don't we go and meet that Ningyu?" the first martial artist suggested. Chao Shuang frowned slightly and said, "That's a good idea. Anyway, there is still some time before the second assessment of Danwu College. Let's go and spar with Ningyu." Chapter 91. In the blink of an eye, 3 days had passed. Early in the morning, Ningyu tidied himself up and went to the clan meeting hall. Inside the hall, Ning Xian and the other 6 youths who were going to participate in the frozen cave assessment sat respectfully on 2 sides. Just as he entered the hall, Ningyu's expression changed and he was somewhat shocked. This was because he discovered that the 7 youths in the hall had all advanced to the Hotian stage. Ning Xian's cultivation had even soared to the late Hotian stage, advancing from the early Hotian stage to the late Hotian stage in a month's time. Even in the capital, there were not many with this kind of talent. Just as Ningyu was slightly shocked, a middle-aged man walked in from the back door of the meeting hall. "First Elder." Seeing the middle-aged man, Ningyu frowned and asked, "Where's my father?" "Ningyu, your father is busy. I will lead the team for the frozen cave assessment." Waving his hand, Ning Tang said, "There's no time to lose, let's hurry to the mysterious Sky City Plaza." Although he was somewhat puzzled, Ningyu did not ask any questions. Instead, he followed Ning Tang and the rest and hurried towards the mysterious Sky City Plaza. "Linjin, the Ning family has taken up 8 spots for the frozen cave assessment. If we do this, will there be any slip-ups?" In the mysterious Sky City Plaza, Wang Qinian slightly frowned and asked. "That's right, Linjin, the Ning family has taken up 8 spots. If we insist on saying that they only have 1 spot, the consequences will be unthinkable if the people from Danwu College find out." Beside him, Zhao Lai was also somewhat worried. "I see that the longer you live, the more you regress. The stronger you are, the more cowardly you become." With a cold snort, Lin Jin said, "After a period of development, the strength of our 3 families has already skyrocketed to a frightening level. Furthermore, the 2 of you have successfully reached the peak of the late Xiantian stage. You are only 1 step away from the perfect Xiantian stage. What is there to worry about? Besides, as long as the 3 of us insist that the Ning family only has 1 candidate, I believe that the people from Danwu College won't say anything." But Wang Qinian and Zhao Lai were still a little worried. They used the remaining 500,000 high-grade origin crystals to buy magic treasures and medicinal pills. Among them, they bought dozens of soul-condensing pills, ranging from low-grade to supreme-grade. With the help of the essence-condensing pill, their cultivation had smoothly advanced to the late stage of the Xiantian realm, even reaching the peak of the late stage of the Xiantian realm. Although his strength had been enhanced, Wang Qinian was still worried and asked, "Is there any news from Ninghai?" At the mention of Ninghai, Lin Jin's face grew solemn as well. In a low voice, he said, "According to accurate information, Ninghai entered the mountain range of magical beasts a week ago, and there has been no news of him since. Don't worry. A rank 6 four-eyed golden crystal beast is not easy to deal with. Ninghai will not be able to return this time. That being said, we still have to be on guard." Wang Qinian said, "We can first launch a probing attack on the Ning family and see their attitude. Alright, let's focus on the icy cave test now." Nodding, Lin Jin said, After 2 weeks of development, Lin Zhen's ambition was no longer limited to dominating Tianqian City. He wanted to expand outwards. In the Xia kingdom, if a family wanted to expand outwards, it was destined to be difficult without a backer. Therefore, Lin Zhen and the others wanted to take a risk and snatch the icy cave test spot that originally belonged to the Ning family. As long as someone from the family successfully entered Danwu College, they could expand outwards without restraint and snatch resources. Brother Zhao, Brother Wang, I hope that you will take care of us for the icy cave test. At the side of the plaza, Lin Xiao from the Lin family cupped his fists and said, Brother Lin has a heavenly talent. After entering Danwu College, the two of us will have to look up to Brother Lin. Zhao Xian and Wang Tao did not dare to be negligent and quickly said, Lin Xiao, a newly promoted genius warrior of the Lin family. In the past, he had always been suppressed by Lin Feng's halo. In addition, he was unable to obtain any resources, so he did not attract the attention of the Lin family's upper echelons. After Lin Feng died in battle, Lin Xiao suddenly rose. In a short 2 weeks, his cultivation advanced from the peak of body tempering stage to the advanced stage of the Hotian realm. This level of talent was not inferior to the previous Lin Feng. He well said. The corner of Lin Zhao's mouth curled up as he said, We are all warriors of Tianqian City. We should help each other. Xiao. At this moment, Ning Tang led the younger generation of the Ning family to the Tianqian Plaza. Upon seeing Ning Tang appear, Lin Zhen, Wang Qinian and the rest exchanged glances. Soon after, they rose from the ground and landed beside Ning Tang. Ning Tang, where is Ning Hai? Lin Zhen asked first. Patriarch has something to do. This time, I will lead the team. Ning Tang said indifferently. The icy cave test doesn't seem to have a rule that the Patriarch must lead the team, right? Of course there is no rule. With a slight smile, Lin Zhen's gaze slowly swept across the people behind Ning Tang. Suddenly, Lin Zhen's expression changed, because he saw a familiar figure, Ning Yu. Ning Yu, why are you here? Staring at Ning Yu, Lin Zhen's face was filled with disbelief. The assassin pavilion had dispatched a team of bronze plate assassins, 8 Xiantian full circle, and a true martial realm warrior. How could they not be able to kill Ningyu? Hearing Lin Zhen's words, Ningyu raised his eyebrows and said calmly, The Tianqian Plaza is not your Lin family's territory. Whether I come or not, it doesn't seem to have anything to do with you. Good, very good. Clenching his fists, Lin Zhen said coldly, I hope you can still be so calm later. If it was in the past, Lin Zhen would have directly attacked Ning Yu and suppressed him. After learning about Ning Yu's powerful performance in Elixir Dragon Valley, he did not dare to act rashly, even though he had advanced to Xiantian full circle. Cough, cough. Seeing Lin Zhen's angry look, Ning Yu's eyes darted around and he coughed twice. Soul power surged on his face, causing his face to look a little pale. Swoosh. Seeing Ning Yu's appearance, Lin Zhen's face lit up. Immediately, he shot a look at Wang Qinian and Zhao Lai. Wang Qinian and the others understood and immediately moved to block Ning Tang's path. What are you trying to do? The sudden change caused Ning Tang to be a little puzzled. Immediately after, his expression changed drastically and he bellowed. Lin Zhen, if you dare to hurt a single hair on Ningyu, the family head will not let you off. Ha ha ha, Ning Tang, don't be so anxious. I just want to have a spar with Ningyu. Laughing loudly, Lin Zhen's body surged with yuan qi and gathered on his fist. He threw a punch, bringing with it a violent gust of primordial qi. His body charged straight at Ningyu. The reason why Lin Zhen dared to attack Ningyu was because he judged that Ningyu was already seriously injured and his current strength was definitely not at its peak. Now that Ning Hai was not in Tianqian City, this was a good opportunity to kill Ningyu. Even if he could not kill Ningyu, he would cripple his cultivation. Therefore, Lin Zhen used almost all his strength in this punch, and did not hold back at all. Sha sha. Chapter 92. What? Lin Zhen has attacked Ningyu. Why is Lin Zhen so powerful? His cultivation base has probably reached the peak of the late Xiantian stage. Lin Zhen's sudden attack caused a huge uproar in the mysterious Tianxian square, causing many cultivators to break out into heated discussions. This time, their focus was no longer on whether Ningyu could block Lin Zhen's powerful attack, but how did Lin Zhen become so powerful? One must know that Lin Zhen's cultivation base was only at the mid-Xiantian stage a month ago. Now, the strength he displayed was infinitely close to the full Xiantian stage. Netherworld Samsara Palm. Gu Ming. In the face of Lin Zhen's powerful punch, Ningyu's expression was calm, without the slightest hint of nervousness. He waved his palm in the air and pushed it out. Soon after, a palm containing boundless yuan energy flew out. It made a turn in the air and met Lin Zhen's fist head-on. Ningyu, I really admire you for being able to remain calm at a time like this. The corners of Lin Zhen's lips curled up as his fist rapidly flew out and collided with the illusory palm. Crack! However, just as his fist collided with Ningyu's palm, Lin Zhen's expression changed. This was because he could sense a trace of trembling that originated from the depths of his soul from the palm. Deceiving! With a low roar, Lin Zhen's body sped up once again. In the blink of an eye, he had arrived in front of Ningyu. His fist carried a violent gust of wind as it fiercely smashed towards the latter's head. Netherworld Samsara Palm, Serene Fiend. The corners of Ningyu's lips curled up as his grade 4 soul force surged. Another palm was thrown out, this one aimed at Lin Zhen from an extremely tricky angle. Child's play. With a cold snort, Lin Zhen casually threw out a punch to block Yusha's attack. Yusha's palm was extremely fast, and his soul force fluctuations were not obvious, so it created a false impression for Lin Zhen. The Nether Fiend did not have much power. However, a split second later, Lin Zhen's expression changed drastically as he regretted his carelessness. Because the punch that he casually threw out was like paper in front of Yusha, and it was quickly destroyed. In the next moment, under his horrified gaze, Yusha slammed into his chest. Xiantian Yuan Qi Wave. At this critical moment, Lin Zhen hurriedly stretched his hand into his robe, and then suddenly threw it out. Suddenly, a wave of Yuan Qi light swept towards Ningyu. Heaven Fiend Sword Wave. Facing the innate vital energy wave, Ningyu's mind moved, and the soul-breaking sword appeared in his hand. With a slash of his sword, a piercingly cold sword light appeared. Under the astonished gazes of the crowd, the innate Qi wave was ruthlessly dispersed. Pucci. Although the innate vital energy wave withstood Ningyu's attack, Lin Zhen had already suffered from Yusha's attack. At this moment, his breathing was a little chaotic, and his soul had suffered serious injuries. Compared to the Assassination Pavilion's Xiantian full-circle martial artist, Lin Zhen's strength was much weaker. Against a Xiantian full-circle martial artist like Lin Zhen, Ningyu did not need to use his full strength. Swish! Silence, silence! The entire Tianxian square became incomparably silent, not a single sound could be heard. No one expected that the situation would develop in such a dramatic way. After a while, the silence was finally broken. What? Lin Zhen lost? Is Ningyu still human? He actually defeated Lin Zhen. From the strength that Ningyu displayed just now, his cultivation should have advanced to the Xiantian stage. He must have advanced to the Xiantian stage. Otherwise, what's the difference between a Hotian stage and a Xiantian late stage, or even a Xiantian full-circle martial artist like Lin Zhen and a monster? Many martial artists were discussing loudly, and they did not bother to conceal it. When it reached Lin Zhen's ears, he felt a pain in his chest. Once again, he spat out a mouthful of blood, and his face was a little pale. This time, he had lost a lot of face. Originally, he wanted to kill Ningyu, or at least cripple Ningyu's cultivation. Now, forget about killing Ningyu, He was almost killed by Ningyu. Lin Zhen could imagine that in the future, he would become the target of ridicule in Tianxian City. Ningyu, I will definitely kill you. Clenching his fists, Lin Zhen's face was full of viciousness. Swish, swish. Seeing that Lin Zhen was injured, Wang Qinian and Zhao Lai flashed and landed in front of Lin Zhen. Zhao family head, the Wang family head, could it be that you want to have a spar with me? Raising his eyebrows, Ningyu released the Yuan Qi from one of the cyclones, forming a small Yuan Qi light wave around him. Swoosh. Feeling the strong Yuan Qi wave around Ningyu, Wang Qinian and Zhao Lai's faces turned extremely gloomy, and they could not help but take a few steps back. Could it be that he has advanced to the Xiantian full circle? The same thought emerged in the minds of Wang Qinian and Zhao Lai at the same time. After all, the Yuan Qi intensity around Ning Yu was not inferior to theirs. Both of them were at the peak of the Xiantian late stage. Did that mean that Ning Yu had advanced to the Xiantian full circle? Thinking of this, Wang Qinian and Zhao Lai's faces turned even gloomier. At the same time, a sense of powerlessness engulfed their bodies. Ning Yu, I did not expect you to become so powerful. With a gloomy face, Lin Zhen pushed Wang Qinian and Zhao Lai away and said in a low voice, I admit that I have underestimated you. You are qualified to be my opponent. Shrugging his shoulders, Ningyu said faintly, I am sorry, but you are not qualified to be my opponent. Lad, if he is not qualified to be your opponent, do I? Just as Ningyu finished his sentence, a slightly arrogant voice suddenly rang out in the Tianxian Square. Immediately, a figure flew in from the entrance of the Tianxian Square and appeared in front of Ningyu in an instant. With a punch, a faint fluctuation of yuan energy appeared on it as it ruthlessly smashed towards Ningyu's chest. Faced with this sudden attack, Ningyu's pupils shrank. The yuan energy within the two cyclones surged out and gathered on his fist. In the next moment, a fist that also contained a powerful fluctuation of yuan energy abruptly shot out. The powerful energy ripples even caused the surrounding air to be compressed and dispersed. Bang! Two powerful yuan energy ripples swept across the sky above the Tianxian Square. The practitioners in the Tianxian Square all had their mouths agape as they looked at the two powerful yuan energy ripples in the sky. Their faces were filled with disbelief. Boom! A loud sound rang out as the two fists collided violently. Bang! After the fists collided, a low muffled sound rang out as a brilliant light exploded. Frightening yuan qi fluctuations swept out. Even the martial artists below were affected. Some of the martial artists who were closer were pushed back several feet before they could stabilize themselves. Swish! At this moment, Ningyu's body was also pushed back, only coming to a stop when he reached the edge of the Tianxian Square. As for the other figure, he landed steadily on the high platform of the Tianxian Square. He looked at Ningyu with a slightly solemn expression. Clearly, he was also shocked by Ningyu's powerful punch. Lin Jingtian. Chapter 93. Ningyu, I wonder if I can be your opponent. On the high platform, Lin Jingtian was expressionless as he said in a low voice, You don't even know how to control your temper at such a young age. When you leave Tianxian City in the future, you will definitely suffer. Fine, I will teach you a lesson on behalf of Ninghai. Swoosh! As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Jingtian stomped on the ground and dashed towards Ningyu. Through that move, Lin Jingtian could tell that Ningyu's true strength was at the innate realm full completion. He could even go toe-to-toe with an early-stage real martial realm martial artist. He was so powerful at such a young age. In a few years, there would be no place for the Lin family in Tianxian City. Therefore, he wanted to take advantage of Ning Hai's absence to kill Ningyu. Middle stage real martial realm. Looking at the approaching Lin Jingtian, Ningyu's face darkened. He held the soul-breaking sword in front of him and injected the yuan qi from the cyclone. Teisho Kenpo. With a low roar, just as Ningyu was about to display his Teisho Kenpo, his expression changed and he retreated. Whoosh! As Ningyu retreated, a powerful fist appeared in front of Lin Jingtian. Lin Jingtian looked on in shock as his fist collided with Ningyu's. Bang! After the blow, Lin Jingtian's body flew backwards and landed heavily on the ground. Swoosh! Standing up abruptly, Lin Jingtian looked at the figure on the high platform and shouted, "May I know who you are? Why did you attack me?" On the high platform, a middle-aged man stood with a gloomy expression. Hearing Lin Jingtian's words, the middle-aged man glared at him. Suddenly, a purplish-red ray of light appeared in his eyes and rushed towards Lin Jingtian. Soul power! Looking at the purplish-red ray of light, Ningyu was shocked. Others might not know what the purplish-red ray of light was, but he knew that it was soul power. Moreover, the strength of that soul power was at least at the 5th grade. In other words, the middle-aged man on the high platform had an extremely strong soul power. Poochie! Just as Ningyu was in shock, Lin Jingtian suddenly let out a blood-curdling scream and spat out a mouthful of blood. Danwu College's examination elder, Han Feng. After repelling Lin Jingtian, the middle-aged man on the high platform no longer looked at him. Instead, he slowly swept his gaze across the Tianxian Square and said, "I will be in charge of the ice cave assessment in Tianxian City this time." What? Han Feng's words caused Lin Jingtian's face to turn ashen. Although he was furious, he didn't dare to show it. How could he offend an elder of Danwu College? Even if he had 8 times the guts, he wouldn't dare. "Everyone who is participating in the icy cave test, stand on the high platform," Han Feng said without looking at Lin Jingtian. Hearing this, Ningyu took a step forward and led the other 7 young warriors of the Ning family onto the high platform. On the other side, Zhao Xian and Wang Tao also slowly walked onto the high platform. Lin Xiao looked at Lin Zhen. After receiving a confirmation from Lin Zhen, his figure flashed and he jumped onto the high platform. Seeing the 11 young warriors on the high platform, Han Feng frowned and said, "If I remember correctly, there should only be 10 slots for the assessment in Tianxian City, right? Why are there 11 warriors here?" His eyes lit up. Lin Zhen hurriedly said, "Elder Han, there are indeed only 10 slots for the assessment in Icy Cave. Among them, the Ning family performed well and obtained 7 slots. The rest, the Lin family, Zhao family and the Wangs, each obtained 1. Just as Lin Zhen opened his mouth, Ningyu's face darkened. He didn't expect Lin Zhen to be so insidious, lying through his teeth. However, Ningyu didn't point it out, nor did he refute it. "I don't care how the slots were allocated. All I know is that only 10 people are allowed to enter the icy cave at a time." Waving his hand, Han Feng said, "The extra warrior, I'm giving you a chance now. Go down by yourself. If you don't go down, I will challenge the authority of Danwu College." On the high platform, Lin Xiao was a little nervous. Even his palms were sweating. Challenging the authority of Danwu College was a crime he couldn't afford. Slightly turning his body, Lin Xiao looked at Lin Zhen. Although he wanted to admit it, as a warrior of the Lin family, he didn't dare to leave the high platform before getting an affirmative answer from Lin Zhen. Gritting his teeth, Lin Zhen turned his head away and didn't look at Lin Xiao. In Lin Zhen's opinion, this might be the best chance to take down Ningyu. If he missed this opportunity, he wouldn't get another one. At that time, he, the Zhao family, and the Wangs would insist that the Ning family only had 7 slots. Even if Han Feng got angry, he would vent his anger on the Ning family. No one is admitting it. Good, very good. Very good. After a while, seeing that no one had left the high platform, Han Feng smiled and said, "Since you guys aren't willing to admit it, there's no need for the icy cave test this time. I hereby announce that no one has passed the icy cave test in Tianxian City." Swoosh. Han Feng's words were completely out of Lin Zhen's expectation. His mouth opened slightly and he was speechless. but soon a smile appeared on his face. This ending might be the best for him. Because in this case, Ningyu wouldn't be able to enter Danwu College. As long as Ningyu didn't enter Danwu College, he would have many opportunities to kill Ningyu. Elder Han. Lin Zhen was satisfied with this ending, but Ningyu wasn't. He took a step forward, pointed at Lin Xiao and said, "He's the extra martial artist." Han Feng was about to leave, but seeing Ningyu's action, he stopped. "You said he's the extra martial artist. What evidence do you have?" "Elder Han, I don't have any evidence." Shaking his head, Ningyu said. Without evidence, how can I believe what you say?" Han Feng smiled and looked at Ningyu with interest. Actually, Han Feng had arrived at Tianxian Square a long time ago. He had seen the battle between Ningyu and Lin Zhen, as well as how he resisted Lin Jingtian's attack. Based on his spiritual perception, which was unique to a fifth-tier alchemist, he could tell that Ningyu's spiritual strength was not weak. Moreover, Ningyu gave him a vague feeling, making him unable to see through him. "Elder Han, Lin Xiao is from the Lin family. Even if I show them any evidence, they will refute it." Glancing at Lin Zhen, Ningyu said, "Elder Han, you can't listen to Ningyu's lies." Lin Zhen was afraid that the matter would be exposed, so he hurriedly said, "The Ning family is not satisfied with obtaining 7 spots for the Frozen Caves assessment. They actually wanted to snatch our Lin family's assessment spot. Otherwise, I wouldn't have attacked them." Next to him, Zhao Lai and Wang Qinian also added, "Elder Han, Lin Zhen's words are all true. We can testify." After a short pause, Han Feng said, "There's no need to explain so much. Since your two families have different opinions, I will give you a fair chance. Each family will send out a young martial artist to participate in the martial battle and alchemy battle. The family that loses will automatically withdraw from the Frozen Caves assessment." Swoosh! Han Feng's words made Lin Zhen's heart sink. His face was like a pig's liver, extremely ugly. Chapter 94. Elder Han, we, the Ning family, have no objections. Taking a step forward, Ningyu said, "As for the younger generation warriors sent by the Ning family, I will take their place." Elder Han, we, the Lin family, choose to withdraw," Lin Zhen said bitterly, his face pale. Originally, he thought that Han Feng would believe him if the 3 families agreed. Who would have thought that Han Feng would propose such a method? Ningyu was not only highly skilled in martial arts, but his talent in alchemy was also one of the best in Tianxian City. None of the younger generation warriors in Tianxian City could surpass him in these 2 aspects. "Humph! How dare you?" Han Feng snorted and scolded. "The Danwu College's assessment is sacred. Whoever dares to obstruct us is challenging the authority of Danwu College." Thump! Trembling, Lin Zhen knelt on the ground and said in horror, "Elder Han, the Ning family has 8 spots for the assessment, the Zhao family and the Wangs have 1 each. As for the Lin family, there were originally a few." Waving his hand, Han Feng interrupted Lin Zhen and said, "I don't want to know anything else. Since you broke the rules, you should be aware of it and cancel the Lin family's assessment for the next 3 years." Hearing this, Lin Zhen was dumbfounded and stood rooted to the ground. This time, he had really outsmarted himself. He went for wool and came home shorn. It was as if he had eaten **T. The icy cave is in the magical Beast Mountain range. Follow me to the icy cave. Jumping off the high platform, Han Feng walked out of the Tianxian Square. "Brother Shuang, this Ningyu is so strong." At the edge of the Tianxian Square, a few young warriors gathered together. One of them, about 24 or 25 years old, said, "Lin Zhen has the cultivation of the innate complete realm, but Ningyu could actually defeat him." Chao Shuang said, "Defeating Lin Zhen is nothing. He's just a warrior who has just reached the consummate Xiantian realm. The key is that old man. If I am not mistaken, He is in the middle stage of the true martial realm. It is not easy for Ningyu to block one move from him. With my current strength, under the premise that I don't use my trump card, it will be difficult for me to block a move from a martial artist in the middle stage of the true martial realm. Brother Shuang, do you mean to say that Ningyu is stronger than you? The 24 or 25-year-old martial artist had a look of disbelief on his face, as he asked in surprise. Do you have a pig brain? A martial artist at the side said, once Brother Shuang uses his trump card, even 10 Ningyus wouldn't be his match. Let's go, let's make a trip to the magical beast mountain range as well. Waving her hand, Chao Shuang started walking toward the exit of the mysterious sky plaza. I didn't expect Ningyu to be so strong. No wonder the patriarch told me not to worry when he left. Looking at Ningyu's departing figure, Ning Tang took a deep breath and quickly left the mysterious sky plaza. Now that Ning Hai was not in mysterious Sky City, he had to deal with all the matters of the Ning family, big or small. In addition, the patriarch was a little injured. Before Ning Hai returned, he had to stabilize the Ning family and ensure that this ship did not sink. Ning Yu. Lin Jin clenched his fists, his face full of malice, and said in a deep voice, Zhao Lai, Wang Qinian, go back and prepare. It's time to let the Ning family know the strength of our three families. Lin Jin, isn't this a little too rushed? Slightly frowning, Zhao Lai had a worried look on his face. After all, if Ningyu were to participate in the icy cave assessment, and if he passed and gained Han Feng's appreciation, it would mean that the Ning family had gained the support of Danwu College. Making a move against the Ning family at this juncture was no different from pulling a tooth out of a tiger's mouth. No, once Ningyu passes the icy cave assessment, he will immediately follow Han Feng to another assessment location. He will not return to mysterious Sky City. With an evil smile, Lin Jin said ruthlessly, we have to seize this opportunity. While Ning Hai is not back and Ningyu is participating in the assessment, we have to give the Ning family a heavy blow. Alright, we'll listen to you. Since they were already in the same boat as Lin Jin, Wang Qinian and Zhao Lai had no choice but to agree with Lin Jin's decision. After all, the Lin family still had Lin Jingtian, who was in the middle stage of the martial realm. After Han Feng brought Ningyu and the others out of mysterious Sky City, they stopped. Whoosh! Han Feng made a gesture towards the sky, and immediately, a cry came from the sky. A huge black-feathered eagle descended from the sky, its wings spread open. It was at least a dozen meters long, and it was extremely shocking. The Black Eagle is a late-stage third-rank demonic beast, and its battle strength is comparable to a Xiantian Great Perfection martial artist. It was actually subdued by Elder Han. Zhao Xian said while trembling. Wang Tao also said while trembling. It is said that the Black Eagle has an extremely bad temper and likes to eat human flesh. Hearing their words, the young martial artists of the Ning family took a step back and leaned behind Ningyu. On the other hand, Ningyu was very calm. Although the Black Eagle was a late-stage third-rank demonic beast, he was not afraid. At this moment, Han Feng said, Everyone, get on the back of the Black Eagle. We're going to the icy cave now. Ningyu was calm. With a leap, he was the first to jump on the back of the Black Eagle. Screech! Feeling a martial artist stepping on its back, the Black Eagle let out a long screech towards the sky. Its entire body emitted an aura, wanting to shake off Ningyu. Seeing the situation, Han Feng did not stop it. Instead, he wanted to see how Ningyu would deal with the current situation. Humph! With a cold snort, Ningyu gathered his soul power on his palm and slapped it out, hitting the Black Eagle's wing. Screech! Just as his palm hit the Black Eagle's wing, the Black Eagle let out two soft screeches and became obedient. Soul power! Seeing Ningyu's actions, Han Feng's brows twitched, and a hint of shock appeared on his face. With his keen senses, he was naturally able to capture some clues. Just now, there was actually a wisp of soul power that entered the Black Eagle's wing through Ning Yu's palm, causing the Black Eagle to become docile and obedient. Wow, Big Brother Ning Yu is really amazing. Even the Black Eagle was subdued by him. Of course, Big Brother Ning Yu is the best. Let's go up too. Ning Xian and the rest looked at Ning Yu with faces full of admiration. Then, with a leap, they jumped onto the Black Eagle's back. Let's go. Zhao Xian and Wang Tao clenched their teeth and jumped up. Swoosh. However, before Zhao Xian and Wang Tao could stabilize themselves on the Black Eagle's back, the Black Eagle suddenly flapped its wings and flung them down, causing them to fall flat on their faces. You. After climbing up from the ground, Zhao Xian pointed at Ning Yu and said, "Why did you instigate the Black Eagle to attack us? You can eat whatever you want, but you can't say whatever you want." Ning Yu's face turned cold, and he said in a low voice, "If you dare to frame me again, don't blame me for being impolite. Alright, stop arguing." With a flash, Han Feng grabbed Zhao Xian and Wang Tao and placed them on the Black Eagle's back. Then, he said, "Sit tight, the Black Eagle's speed is very fast. We will arrive at the ice cave in about 2 hours. Hua." In the next instant, the Black Eagle soared into the sky, and in the blink of an eye, it was far away, flying towards the depths of the magical Beast Mountain range. The Black Eagle's speed was extremely fast. In a mere 10 minutes, it had already entered the depths of the magical Beast Mountain range. Roar, 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 roar. However, just at this moment, an earth-shattering roar sounded. Screech. Chapter 95. Fire Cloud Leopard. Han Feng's expression changed as he stroked the Black Eagle with his right hand to calm it down. "Wait here and don't go anywhere." Han Feng let out a low cry. Immediately, he leaped down from the back of the Black Eagle and charged into the distance. "It's a Fire Cloud Leopard." Ning Yu's eyes narrowed as his expression turned solemn. The Fire Cloud Leopard was a 4th-rank demonic beast, and its strength was comparable to an early-stage true martial realm martial artist. Originally, with Han Feng's strength, he could even contend with a late-stage 4th-rank demonic beast. But this time, it wasn't just one Fire Cloud Leopard, but a pack. There were more than 10 of them. Boom. At this moment, Han Feng and the Fire Cloud Leopard were already exchanging blows. The powerful Yuan Qi caused the surrounding trees to snap in half. Roar. A Fire Cloud Leopard roared into the sky and suddenly sped up, using its sharp claws to claw at Han Feng's chest. The claws of the Fire Cloud Leopard were as sharp as iron hooks. Their claws could easily pierce through a low-grade Mystic class artifact. Bastard! Han Feng's eyes turned cold as he punched out to meet the Fire Cloud Leopard's claws. The powerful energy in Han Feng's fist caused the Fire Cloud Leopard to panic. Seeing the panic in the Fire Cloud Leopard's eyes, Han Feng sped up and dodged its sharp claws, then fiercely smashed toward its head. Bang! Han Feng's fist landed squarely on the Fire Cloud Leopard's head. The huge impact pushed the Fire Cloud Leopard back several feet. It's indeed a Fire Cloud Leopard. To be able to withstand 50% of my strength and not die. Han Feng retreated slightly in shock. He had used 50% of his strength in that punch, and it had landed on the weakest part of the Fire Cloud Leopard's head, but it still did not die. The Fire Cloud Leopard's defense was shocking. The Fire Cloud Leopard is a 4th-rank demonic beast. It shouldn't appear here. Han Feng frowned and mumbled, "Could it be that there's something wrong with the forbidden area of the magical Beast Mountain range?" Although there were many demonic beasts in the magical Beast Mountain range, in all these years, there had never been any news of a rank 4 demonic beast appearing. Of course, the riot 18 years ago did not count. Han Feng knew very well that it wasn't that the magical Beast Mountain range didn't have any rank 4 demonic beast. It was because all the demonic beasts above rank 4 were in the Forbidden Grounds and wouldn't easily leave. Encountering a group of fire cloud leopards here meant that there was a problem with the forbidden grounds. Roar! The remaining dozen or so fire cloud leopards let out a loud roar toward the sky when they saw their companion defeated. They charged toward Han Feng in an orderly manner. Humph! Since you've left the forbidden area, don't blame me. With a cold snort, Han Feng unleashed his powerful aura and threw out several punches at the fire cloud leopard. Han Feng was in the late stage of the true martial realm, and his strength was extremely powerful. The reason why he was unable to kill the fire cloud leopard in one strike was because he had not used his full strength. He had only used 50% of his strength. Now that he had used his full strength, the weather suddenly changed and the sky changed color. So this is the strength of the late stage of the true martial realm. From afar, Ning Yu's eyes narrowed as he felt the majestic yuan qi fluctuation around Han Feng. He was shocked. With his current overall strength, he could easily defeat a Xiantian full-cycle martial artist. He could contend with a true martial realm martial artist, and if he caught them off guard, he could even kill them. As for a true martial realm martial artist, even if he only used 50% of his strength, he could still kill him effortlessly. Roar! At the same time, the dozen or so fire cloud leopards felt the powerful energy contained in the punches and let out a loud roar to dispel the fear in their hearts. Bang! 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 However, in the face of absolute strength, no matter how many roars they made, it was useless. A series of crisp sounds could be heard as the dozen or so fire cloud leopards were blown back like sieves. Looks like the icy cave assessment this time is a little unusual. After repelling the dozen or so fire cloud leopards, Han Feng stood on the spot with a worried expression. The icy cave was located at the periphery of the Magic Beast mountain range and was very close to it. In the previous icy cave assessments, there had never been any problems, but this time, a fourth-rank demonic beast had appeared. From this, it could be seen that the icy cave assessment this time was unusual. At this moment, Han Feng even wanted to bring Ning Yu and the rest back to Tianxian City and give up on the icy cave assessment this time. However, when he thought of the other elders of Danwu College who would also bring the assessment participants to the icy cave, his worry was slightly alleviated. The icy cave was an assessment location set up by Danwu College in Tianxian City. It did not mean that only people from Tianxian City were allowed to participate in the assessment, but with Tianxian City as the center, martial artists from the surrounding dozens of cities would come. Han Feng was the person in charge of the icy cave assessment this time, and his cultivation was in the late stage of the true martial realm. The other people in charge of the icy cave assessment in dozens of cities were in the middle stage of the Xiantian stage to the Xiantian full cycle. Forget it, let's continue forward. With a grave expression, Han Feng turned his head around, intending to return to the back of the Black Eagle. However, just as he turned his head around, his expression changed drastically. Both his legs kicked the ground, and his body darted out in an instant. This was because a fire cloud leopard had unknowingly appeared in front of the Black Eagle and was now confronting it. One had to know that there were 10 icy cave assessment participants on the back of the Black Eagle. If anything went wrong, even if he was the person in charge of the icy cave assessment, he would not be able to bear the responsibility. Facing the powerful fire cloud leopard, the pressure that came from the depths of the soul caused the Black Eagle to tremble with fear. If not for Ning Yu's constant reassurance, it would have definitely turned around and fled. Swoosh! Finally, the fire cloud leopard no longer confronted the Black Eagle. Instead, it leaped and suddenly rushed out. Damn it! Ning Yu cursed under his breath, and the soul-severing sword appeared in his hand. Teisho Kenpo. As the sword stabbed out, there was a slight tremor in the void, and a buzzing sound could be heard. In the next moment, a sword wave that contained powerful energy blasted towards the fire cloud leopard at an extremely shocking speed. Roar! With an angry roar, the fire cloud leopard spat out a mouthful of red flames to meet the sword radiance. Chi-chi! The flames and the sword radiance collided, and a sizzling sound could be heard. Immediately after, Ningyu suddenly rushed out from the back of the black eagle and waved the soul-severing sword repeatedly. In an instant, several sword radiances slashed out and formed a sword radiance array in front of him. Go! With a point of his finger, several sword radiances swept out and surrounded the fire cloud leopard from all directions. Seeing the sword radiances that Ningyu slashed out, Han Feng's speeding body slowed down slightly. This was because he could feel a very powerful wave of primordial qi from the sword radiances. The strength of the primordial qi contained in each sword radiance has probably reached the Xiantian full completion. With a sparkle in his eyes, Han Feng raised his eyebrows and thought to himself, "No wonder Elder Guan asked me to lead the assessment in the icy cave of Tianxian City. He said that there was a surprise." Chapter 96. Kill! As Ningyu shouted, several sword rays slashed out, and the fire cloud leopard was horrified as they slammed into its body. Chi-chi-chi-chi-chi-chi. The sword projections were extremely fast and appeared in front of the fire cloud leopard in the blink of an eye before slashing its body. Roar! The fire cloud leopard let out an angry roar as it was struck by several sword rays. It stomped on the ground and roared as it charged at Ningyu. Its defensive power is actually so shocking. Ningyu already knew that the fire cloud leopard's defense was strong, but he didn't expect it to be this powerful. Even his strongest move, the Teisho Kenpo, couldn't break through its defense. With a cold look in his eyes, Ningyu's Yuan Qi whirled crazily. His fourth-grade soul force emerged and gathered on his fist. However, just as he was about to unleash the netherworld samsara palm, a thought passed through his mind, and he forcefully stopped. Xiao! The moment Ningyu stopped, a shadow flashed past him and appeared beside the fire cloud leopard in the blink of an eye. A fist was thrown out and landed right on the fire cloud leopard's head. Bang! The enormous force caused the fire cloud leopard to fly back several meters. Elder Han. Concealing his soul power, Ningyu said calmly, "Let's go and try to reach the frost cave as soon as possible." After casually repelling the fire cloud leopard, Han Feng did not ask any questions. Instead, he leaped onto the back of the black eagle. Since Han Feng did not ask, Ningyu could not be bothered to explain. His figure flashed, and he similarly leaped onto the black eagle. Screech! Letting out a long screech, the black hawk flapped its massive wings and flew deeper into the mountain range of magical beasts. "Brother Ningyu, just how strong are you?" On the back of the black hawk, Ning Xian's large eyes blinked and she said in adoration, "If only I had half your powers." Hearing this, the rest of the younger generation of the Ning family looked at Ningyu. Just now, Ningyu's powerful attack had completely subdued them. Originally, they had already regarded Ningyu as their idol. After this battle, they worshipped Ningyu even more. At the side, Zhao Xian and Wang Tao glared at Ningyu viciously, their eyes filled with anger. 1 month ago, if they wanted to kill Ningyu, it would be as easy as blowing off dust. Now, Ningyu had already grown to the extent that he was able to go against a martial artist at the consummate stage of the Xiantian realm. If they wanted to kill Ningyu again, it would be extremely difficult. At this time, I'm afraid the family has already made a move against the Ning family. Clenching his fists, Zhao Xian's lips curled into an evil smile. Although he was no match for Ningyu, in terms of family power, the current Zhao family was miles ahead of the Ning family. In the path of cultivation, one must take it one step at a time. Remember not to bite off more than you can chew, Ningyu said in a low voice. As long as all of you work hard in your cultivation, I believe it will not be long before you surpass me. Pursing her lips, Ning Xian nodded and said, "I will work hard." Screech! At that moment, the black eagle cried out. Ningyu looked ahead and saw that about 1,000 meters away, there were 3 huge black eagles circling in the air. On the backs of the huge black eagles there were also a group of martial artists. That is the team from Mingwang City, who are here to take part in the Frozen Caves trial. Han Feng said when he saw Ningyu's puzzled expression. Mingwang City? Ningyu raised an eyebrow. Mingwang City was a city to the east of Tianxian City, and it was much bigger than Tianxian City. Let's speed up and catch up. Han Feng nodded and patted the black eagle. The black eagle flapped its wings and sped up. Soon, Ningyu and his team caught up with the team from Mingwang City. Elder Han. Seeing Han Feng, the 3 Danwu College elders flew down from the back of the black eagle. One of the Xiantian full realm elders took a step forward and said respectfully, I have something to report to you. Just now we detected the aura of a 4th-order demonic beast. I already know about it. Waving his hand, Han Feng said softly, On the way here, I met more than 10 fire cloud leopards. Fire cloud leopards. Hearing that, the Danwu College elders' faces changed, and they could not help but shiver. They knew that the fire cloud leopards were 4th-order demonic beasts and were extremely powerful. If they were to encounter a fire cloud leopard, the consequences would be dire. After all, the 3 elders were only at the Xiantian full realm. If they were to encounter a fire cloud leopard, they would definitely die. Which city is that team from? What is the identity of their leader? Why is Elder Shin so respectful towards him? From afar, seeing Xin Fei being so respectful towards Han Feng, a Xiantian mid-realm elder asked with a frown. Young Master Lu, that team is from Tianxian City. On the back of the Black Eagle, a monkey-faced martial artist said, As for their leader, his position in Danwu College might be higher than Elder Shin's. Tianxian City is just a small place. In the previous icy cave assessments, they were almost completely wiped out. Lu Heng was confused and said, It doesn't make sense for a city like this to have such a high position. The monkey-faced martial artist said, Young Master Lu, I don't know about that. Lu Heng, have you forgotten that in this innate realm ranking, there is a martial artist from Tianxian City who made it to the top 1,000? On the back of another black eagle, a Xiantian mid-realm elder with delicate features and a folding fan in his hand said, According to the innate realm ranking, the martial artist who made it to the innate realm ranking is called Ningyu. His cultivation is 1 level lower than both of us. Humph. By Pingji, don't tell me you want to challenge Ningyu. Lu Heng snorted and said, Don't forget, you are only ranked 9,500th on the innate realm ranking. There is a difference of 8,000 ranks between you and Ningyu. I think Ningyu can defeat you in 1 move. Hee Lu Heng, don't try to provoke me. You are only ranked 9,400th on the innate realm ranking. Bai Pingji said with a smile. Lu Heng said, The innate realm ranking is not necessarily accurate. It only records the strongest fighting power that a Xiantian warrior has displayed before. It is not the ultimate fighting power. Even so, Ningyu is ranked 1,000 on the innate realm ranking. It means that he is quite strong. Bai Pingji frowned and said, I would like to challenge him when I have the chance. Ningyu is just ahead. Do you want me to challenge him? Lu Heng said. Bai Pingji shook his head and said, Let's wait for the cold ice cave assessment. There will be plenty of chances to challenge him then. Now is not the time. Bai Pingji was not stupid. If he were to challenge Ningyu now, no matter the result, he would consume a lot of energy. His and Lu Heng's abilities were almost the same. They both wanted to fight for the top 10 in the cold ice cave assessment. Whoever consumed too much energy now would be at a disadvantage later. Don't worry. I have defeated those fire cloud leopards. They have basically lost their fighting power. In the distance, Han Feng thought for a while and said, Let's not waste any more time. Let's depart now and reach the cold ice cave as soon as possible. Yes, let's depart now. Chapter 97. The icy cave was located in the depths of the magical Beast Mountain Range. It was one of the examination locations for Danwoo College. Every few years, a large number of young martial artists would enter the icy cave to participate in the examination. The martial artists who passed the icy cave examination would be brought to another place to participate in the next round of Danwoo College's examination. Sha. In the dense forest, dozens of figures were moving quickly. Low sounds of something breaking through the air could be heard from the crowd. These people were naturally the martial artists who were participating in the icy cave examination. However, their situation was obviously not optimistic. Damn it, these people are so daring. They actually dared to stop Danwoo College's icy cave examination. A late-stage Xiantian Danwoo College elder's face was gloomy as he clenched his fists and said angrily, "Now is not the time to talk about this. This place is very close to the icy cave. Rest for 10 minutes, then hurry up and try to reach the icy cave before nightfall." A complete Xiantian martial artist frowned slightly. Soon after, his low voice was heard by the crowd of young martial artists. Hearing this, the crowd of martial artists nodded their heads. On the way, they were surrounded by mysterious experts. If not for the elder leading them risking his life to resist, they would have been killed long ago. These young martial artists were mostly rookies who had not experienced a real battle. Even now, some martial artists still had some fear on their faces. Although the academy elder had risked his life to resist, these people were extremely cunning. They had used a secret technique to kill many black eagles, causing them to have no choice but to travel on foot. In the dense forest, under a towering tree, dozens of figures were taking a short break. Not good, everyone be on guard. Suddenly, the complete Xiantian elder stood up and released his aura. He shouted in a low voice, "There are 10 martial artists to the east. The lowest cultivation is at the complete Xiantian realm and the highest is at the middle stage of the true martial realm. There are 5 martial artists to the west. The lowest cultivation is at the early stage of the true martial realm and the highest is at the middle stage of the true martial realm." Hiss. Hearing this elder's words, the crowd of martial artists sucked in a breath of cold air. With such a lineup, if they were to attack them, they would be like lambs waiting to be slaughtered. They would not be able to fight back. Not only the young martial artists participating in the assessment, but even the elders of Danwoo College had grave expressions on their faces. Their hearts sank to the bottom. They only had 5 elders, 3 of whom were at the peak stage of the Xiantian realm, and 2 of whom were at the late stage of the Xiantian realm. Faced with the enemy's lineup, they would not be able to hold on for long before being defeated. At that time, the fates of these young martial artists participating in the assessment would be dictated by others. Creak. In the next moment, the sound of twigs snapping suddenly rang out in the quiet jungle. Whoosh. This soft sound was like a thunderclap, causing the expressions of the originally nervous young cultivators to change greatly, and they hurriedly stood up. At this time, a deep voice came from Feng Chang's mouth. "Everyone, prepare for battle. Xiantian realm martial artists and above will take the front, and Hotian realm martial artists will stay behind. Everyone, form a semicircle." Feng Chang's face was extremely gloomy. He was the most powerful person among them, and his cultivation level was at the Khanate full circle. At this critical juncture, he had to stand at the forefront. He could not have the slightest bit of cowardice. As soon as Feng Chang's voice fell, the 50 young martial artists moved quickly. In just a moment, they had formed a semicircle. Feng Chang and the other 4 elders guarded the gap in the semicircle. Their pitch-black eyes kept moving as they stared straight ahead. At the end of their line of sight, several figures gradually appeared. Sha. Following the appearance of this group of people, in another direction, 5 figures appeared in Feng Chang's line of sight in an instant. The peak of the middle stage of the true martial realm. Feeling the powerful aura of the middle-aged man, Feng Chang realized that he would not be able to survive today. Ha ha ha, it seems that hall leader was right. I can really meet so many newbies here, and there are even a few elders of Danwu College. It seems that this trip has not been in vain. The middle-aged man laughed loudly. Suddenly, a towering aura rose, and a blood-red shadow shot out. Not good. Feeling the power of the blood-red shadow, Feng Chang's expression changed. His hands formed a series of hand seals, and finally, he threw out a palm strike to meet the blood-red shadow head-on. Not bad, to be able to block my attack with a cultivation of Xiantian realm at 40% of my strength. You are indeed worthy of being an elder of Danwu College. After the attack, the middle-aged man seemed to be fine, but Feng Chang was forced to take a few steps back before he could stabilize himself. With this attack, it was clear who had the upper hand. Fan Zhi, we discovered these people first. I think you are going a bit too far, right? In the distance, a black-robed cultivator at the peak of middle stage of true martial realm said, "Do you want to declare war on us?" Ha ha, not to the extent of declaring war. Fan Zhi smiled, but his expression immediately turned cold. He shouted in a low voice, "Old Shui, these martial artists are here to participate in the Cold Ice Caves assessment. If you have something to say it quickly." Old Shui frowned slightly and said coldly, "There are 50 young martial artists here, we will each take half," Fan Zhi said. "As for the 5 elders of Danwu College, I will suffer a bit. Leave them to me." You are really wishful thinking. Old Shui coldly snorted and said, "Although we don't belong to the same hall, we are all from the corpse sect. I can't let you suffer a loss. How about this, I have more people on my side. Leave the 3 Xiantian realm martial artists to me and the 2 late-stage Xiantian realm martial artists to you. Old Shui, let's not fight. Let's attack together and kill them all." After thinking for a moment, Fan Zhi said, "I heard that there is a late-stage true martial realm martial artist among the leading elders of Danwu College. If we are discovered by him, although you and I won't be afraid, it will still be troublesome." "Good." Old Devil Shui's eyes narrowed as he rose from the ground. Vigorous yuan qi surged out of his body. The tyrannical aura caused the withered leaves in the surroundings to fly away. Such an aura was not far from the late stage of the true martial realm. After he made his move, the 9 Xiantian realm martial artists behind him also stepped on the ground and pulled out their weapons. Their target was the young martial artists who had already been scattered. "Let's finish this quickly." Seeing that Old Shui and his group had taken the initiative to attack, Fan Zhi waved his hand and flicked his finger. Suddenly, a blood-red cold light directly attacked Feng Chang like a ghost. "Tang Kun, I will stop them. You quickly retreat and immediately think of a way to contact Elder Han Feng. As long as we can find Elder Han Feng, we might have a chance of survival." Seeing that Fan Zhi and his group had made their move, Feng Chang's heart suddenly sank. He knew that today was a bad day. Chapter 98. Screech. Screech. In the forest, the crisp sound of eagle hooves could be heard. Shortly after, several huge black eagles flew across the sky, heading towards the depths of the magical Beast Mountain range. There were more than 10 of these black eagles, and on their backs were many young martial artists. On the back of one of the black eagles, Ningyu closed his eyes. The spirit transformation art in his body was circulating slowly. Strands of yuan qi were guided by the spirit transformation art and slowly entered his sea of consciousness. As they got closer to the icy cave, Ningyu could feel that the surrounding yuan qi was getting thicker and thicker. Naturally, he would not waste such a great opportunity to cultivate. On the path of cultivation, one could not slack off. Dripping water could wear through a rock. The yuan qi in the whirlpools have reached the Xiantian full cycle. Unless there is a fortuitous encounter, it would be impossible to split the whirlpools again in a short period of time. Feeling the state of the 4 whirlpools, Ningyu finally recovered from his cultivation and looked around. At the beginning, Ningyu and his group met the Icy Cave Assessment Team from Bright King City. After traveling for another 10 minutes, they met the assessment teams from other cities. After that, they would meet a new assessment team every few minutes. The mounts of these assessment teams were all late rank 3 demonic beasts, black eagles. From this, it could be seen how powerful Danwu College was. Elder Han, how much longer do we need to reach the frigid cave? Ningyu leaned towards Han Feng and asked. The black eagles are very fast. We can reach the icy cave in about 10 minutes. With a smile, Han Feng said, This time, do you plan to participate in the icy cave's warrior assessment or the alchemist assessment? What's the difference? Ningyu frowned and asked doubtfully. Ningyu only knew that the icy cave assessment was divided into the warrior assessment and the alchemist assessment. However, he was not clear about the specific assessment method and process. Fine, I'll explain the assessment method to you. After pondering for a while, Han Feng said, The icy cave is just a general term. Actually, there are 2 caves in it. One is the icy cave and the other is the icy cave. The warrior test is conducted in the cold cave, and the alchemist test is conducted in the ice cave. There are many rooms in the cold cave. Participants of the fighter assessment, please enter your room. Then, we will release a demonic beast of the corresponding level, according to your strength. As long as you can defeat the demonic beast, you will pass the cold ice cave assessment. It's that simple? An early Xiantian martial artist on the Black Eagle beside him asked. Simple? Han Feng looked at him and continued, The level of the demon beasts we will release will be slightly higher than yours, ranging from 1 to 3 minor levels. Han Feng's words caused the cultivators on the Black Eagles to suck in a breath of cold air. A demonic beast that's 1 to 3 levels higher than me? Didn't that mean that his cultivation was at the early stage of the Xiantian realm, and it was highly possible for him to summon a third-order late-stage demonic beast? A late-stage Tier 3 demonic beast's strength was incomparably powerful, and its combat strength was comparable to a consummate Xiantian martial artist. From this, it could be seen that the Frost Cave test this time was extremely difficult. You don't have to worry too much. Not wanting to shock everyone too much, Han Feng continued, the strongest of the demonic beasts released this time is only at the early stage third order. In other words, as long as you have the strength to defeat an early stage third order demonic beast, you will pass the cold ice cave assessment steadily. Phew! Hearing this, the surrounding people heaved a sigh of relief, secretly feeling relieved. To be able to participate in the cold ice cave assessment, they all had trump cards on them. Furthermore, some of them had very strong trump cards. As long as they were used, they might even be able to kill a mid-stage third-order demonic beast. Of course, these people were the minority. Most of them had a grave expression, secretly calculating their chances of passing the assessment. As for the alchemist assessment in the cold ice cave, the rules are much simpler. Just at this moment, Han Feng continued, there are prescribed herbs. As long as you can use the herbs to refine a first-grade medicinal pill, you can pass the cold ice cave assessment. That's simple? This time, the cultivators participating in the alchemist assessment revealed joyful expressions. To them, this rule was indeed very simple. Most of the cultivators who were qualified to participate in the alchemist assessment had passed the Alchemist Association's first-grade alchemist assessment and had a 1-star badge. Refining a first-grade medicinal pill, to them, was a piece of cake. How could it be so simple? If that was really the case, there would be no need for Danwu College to set up the assessment venue in the cold ice cave. Frowning, Ningyu felt that something was amiss. If the rules were really that simple, there would be no need for Danwu College to set up the assessment venue in the cold ice cave in the depths of the Magical Beast Mountain Range. After all, the depths of the Magical Beast Mountain Range were filled with dangers. There must be a reason why Danwu College spent so much money and sent out so many late-stage third-order demonic beasts, the Black Eagles. Forget it, there will always be a way out. Since he could not understand, Ningyu simply did not think about it. Instead, he closed his eyes and quietly waited for the arrival of the cold ice cave. Swoosh! However, before Ningyu could close his eyes, a startling pillar of light soared into the sky from the west, bringing with it gusts of yuan power gales. Not good. Someone from Danwu College is being attacked. Seeing the huge yuan qi pillar, Han Feng's face turned gloomy. He waved his sleeve and shouted, "Leave one Xiantian complete realm elder behind. The rest follow me." Hearing this, the other Danwu College elders on the back of the Black Eagles also had ugly expressions. However, without any hesitation, they immediately jumped off the back of the Black Eagles and rushed toward the source of the Pillar of Light. Someone is being attacked? Who dares to attack the people from Danwu College? Could it be a demonic beast? I'm not sure. Judging from the Pillar of Light, the other party is likely to be a martial artist. After Han Feng and the others rushed out, the examinees immediately burst into an uproar, discussing animatedly. Silence. The burly man at the Xiantian complete realm who was left behind exuded his aura and berated, "With Elder Han Feng taking action, I believe the rascal in the distance will be dealt with very quickly. All you need to do is to wait here obediently." Hearing the words of the Xiantian complete realm elder, the noisy crowd instantly quieted down. Most of them were Hotian to Xiantian realm martial artists. Under the pressure of the powerful aura of a Xiantian complete realm warrior, they were extremely respectful and did not even dare to breathe loudly. I'm afraid the situation isn't optimistic. Ningyu slightly released his grade 4 soul force and his face was somewhat solemn. With his keen soul force, although he could not determine the specific situation in the distance, the general situation was not far off. In the distance, he could feel the aura of no less than 5 true martial realm martial artists. The rest were the auras of a dozen Xiantian complete realm martial artists. If he was not wrong, some teams had been ambushed, and the people who ambushed them were very strong. Elder Han should be able to deal with them. Shaking his head, Ningyu wanted to withdraw his soul force because he did not feel the aura of a late martial realm martial artist from afar. With Han Feng's late martial realm cultivation, even if he encountered 4 or 5 middle martial realm martial artists, he could still contend and even kill them. Swoosh. However, before Ningyu could withdraw his soul force, his face changed dramatically. This was because he sensed 2 martial artists rushing towards him at high speed. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.